Yappisode.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to another Yappisode. Man, every time we take like a little day off, man, I feel a little rejuvenated. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of like the days off because I feel like every time the next day that we have a Yappisode, the next time we have a Yappisode, there's just like so much we've missed. Like and everything just, oh my gosh. I guess the world doesn't stop spinning even when you take a day off. Yeah, that even goes for regular work. You know, you take a day off for regular work days, you come back and you got a mountain I was about to say a mountain of evidence. Oh my gosh, bro. These folks got my mind blown with all of this lingo. They overwhelming. I can never use the term overwhelming normally, like ever again. Anytime I think of overwhelming, I just immediately go to this whole case. Anytime I think of a mountain, if I say mountain, I just say mountain of evidence. It just it just goes in my head every single time. But man, I missed y'all. I missed days off. I love it, but I hate it at the same time because I absolutely love yapping. If you can't tell already in these last couple of months or however long you've been following and supporting. And so yeah, man, I definitely appreciate y'all for joining tonight. Please hit the like button. Whether you're on your way in, on your way out, somehow it just started. So I hope not. Replay crew. I love y'all so much. Please hit the like button, replay crew, and also hit the subscribe button if you are new to the channel as well. We are on the road to 26K. We just crossed over 25.1, so 25,100 subscribers. We just crossed over that milestone, so we're on our way. We're on our way. And so I appreciate y'all so much. There's so many different ways you can support the channel as well. Not only this channel, you can support all the different platforms that we are expanding to. TikTok, we honestly, I guess that's not really an expansion, but the community is growing as usual. We've been on there for years, so you got 2 TikTok accounts. You can find that below. Facebook is definitely growing. Please, everybody, go support the new Facebook channel, Facebook page, whatever they call it over there, so we can get all of these fakes exposed and reported, because there's about 4 or 5 fake accounts that just got a tremendous amount of following that I had no idea was out there. Every time I post, they take it and steal it and post it as theirs, and I had no idea. Okay, I reported them the other day, and y'all know how social media is. They do not protect your, I guess, identity. I wouldn't say identity, but like, I don't know, like people impersonating you. Like, social media is not good with that. Like, they really let that slide, and so I reported it, and it literally got denied, or I guess not denied, but they didn't do anything about it. They deemed everything to be like normal. When I literally was like, this person is literally pretending to be me, and that's not me. And Facebook did not care at all. They said they didn't find nothing wrong with it. So all we can do is grow the real page that's at about 8 followers right now, and hopefully all 25,000, 30,000 people over there will start to realize that that is a fake page. um I I don't, I want to comment sometimes, but I also don't want to get blocked by this random person, whoever it is. So if y'all happen to see it posting as well, don't be afraid to comment and point everybody to the right direction on what page we're on. So and then you can also find me over on X, JD Apple One, and on Buy Me a Coffee as well, JD Apple One. Man, all right. Outside of that housekeeping stuff, we got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. Whoo! I mean, we got this Erika video that was exposed by Meech. He dropped today, which was a absolute banger and a bomb, because this kind of confirmed the secret connection and the whole, thing with Erika and the modeling and who she was affiliated with and the deep dark stuff, right? It kind of confirmed it, to be honest. And so we'll be looking at that today. There's also where's my phone? On live. TikTok family, what's going on? There is also, oh yeah, Andrew Wilson on the Charlie Kirk show. We hit about it a little bit on TikTok, but I don't think we hit about it on YouTube yet. So we shall hit on that as well. Got a little announcement coming up in a couple of seconds/minutes that you guys will probably be, we'll see, excited about, maybe not excited about, who knows? But I'm definitely excited. So Trigger Smart debunking Andrew Wilson. We'll be hitting on a lot of different things tonight that I definitely do not want to forget about. So outside of that, man, you know what, y'all know what it is, man. Grab your popcorn late night snack. You know what I mean? Throw me in the background while you're cleaning your house, whatever it is, what y'all be doing. My kids are asleep. It is, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm gonna need, like, our youngest, somebody said it a long time ago. Not a long time ago. He's about to, first off, he's about to be a month. I don't know. Time is flying, right? He's already about to be a month old. Baby Apple number 2. But he went from sleeping very, very, very well to, I don't know what little dude got going on right now. I have no idea. Like, bro, you just be up for like 2 hours, bro. I'm like, dog, your wake window for a newborn is like 30 minutes. You know what I mean? He just be up, like just staring, not trying to go to sleep at all. And it's been rough. I will say that the last couple of days, and obviously it's been more rough on, you know what I mean, Mama Yap than me. But because I take over with the toddler, and I got the toddler every day, all day. And his fits are crazy, but obviously that's a little bit better because at the end of the day, he know how to go sleep on his own and stuff like that. But man, he just be up. It takes forever for him to go to sleep. Like my oldest, it used to take about 10 to 15 minutes on the dot, and you can count on him being asleep by then. He loved his binky, so you didn't have to worry about that either. Bro, my youngest right now, he does not like binkies. But if he doesn't have a binky, he fusses and cries the whole time. Then it's like, dude, you have to stop crying so you can actually go to sleep. But when you give him his binky, he sucks on the, you have to literally hold it in there. And he likes it. He likes when you hold it in there. But I'm like, just keep it in your mouth, bro. And then it takes about 30 minutes or so for him to fall asleep. He used to fall asleep anywhere, but now you have to do certain things, and it takes about 30 to 45 minutes for him to fall asleep. But by then, in about another 40 minutes, he's gonna be hungry again. But the thing is, when he finally goes to sleep in those 30 to 45 minutes, bro, like last night, I had him right. He sleep. It took 30, 45 minutes to get him sleep. Next, you know, I'm like, cool. He's there. He's sleep. I put on Outer Banks on the TV. I don't know. Shout out to the folks out there that love Outer Banks. Season 5 just dropped. I throw Outer Banks on the TV. I'm just sitting there, and then I check on him, and he's just staring at me. I'm like, oh my gosh, go to sleep, bro. It's 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Go to sleep. And he would just be staring at me. And now the 30 to 45 minutes has started all over again because he's not going to just go right back down. And I'm like, so he has been testing us, because we literally were like, I there's no way that you're a worse sleeper than your brother. There's no way. We thought your brother was a little challenging. Why won't you sleep as a newborn? That you have nothing else to do but to eat and sleep. Go to sleep. And he literally would not sleep until he's hungry again. And I'm like, I don't know. So we're going through that right now, right? I guess you can call it a regression. I don't know what happened. But we're going through a phase where he just will not sleep at all. And then when he's awake, he's not really just chilling. He's like a little like fussing while he's awake. And you know what I mean? Like, so we figured it out. But they're both asleep now. And here we are. We are on live tonight, on time too. I laid him down in the bassinet before we got our little routine going at night, and he was fighting Mama Yap since 5 p.m. He was fighting Mama Yap. 5 p.m. He only slept for 40 minutes from 5 p.m. to 10. I was taking him, bouncing him, doing it with anything I could. And then because I took my oldest, my parents in town, so we took my oldest to putt golf. We was putt golfing and all that other stuff. So I had him. My mom stayed here with the newborn, But yeah, when I came back, when me, my dad, and my oldest came back, they still fighting with him. She was like, yeah, he's literally been only asleep for 40 minutes since y'all left. I'm like, dude, what? So put my oldest down to sleep early, come downstairs. He's still up. The youngest is still up. I'm like, what is going on? So next, thing you know, I'm bouncing, nothing working. I ended up just laying him in the bassinet because I'm like, all right, if you don't want to hold me, I mean, if you don't want me to hold you, because it's just a problem. Maybe I'm too bony or something like that. So I was like, I don't know what you want, bro. I'm holding you in so many different ways. You don't like it. So what you want from me? So I ended up laying him in the bassinet, giving the binky, bro. In like 10 minutes, he was asleep on his own. And she was like, "Are you serious right now? We would have done this all day long, and you just go to sleep on your own in the bassinet, like." But she's tried that before. That's the crazy part. She's tried it before, putting him in the bassinet, and he won't just do it. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe he tired himself out. I don't know, bro. But they're asleep now, so we're good. Okay, we're good. But yeah, he's about to be a month next week. That's crazy. All right. So without further ado, well, that was, again, to my parenting rant of the day. Shout out to the parents out there. We go through a lot. Okay. We get it done though. We get it done. All right. So let's get into some of the content for tonight. Again, a lot of content tonight. So just buckle up because it's gonna be crazy. Let's go. I never catch you live, but I am up late working on clinic work. I have company and I get to contribute to the Yapsters. Keep going. Love your realness. Man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for just throwing it on while you're doing your thing too. So I can't do nothing but be grateful. Simply simple with the gifted, man. Thank you for doing that. Somebody in the chat is gonna get a membership dropped on them. Thank you to Simply Simple, man. So please, whenever that happens, shout out to them for that. All right. Without further ado, let's see. Another gifted. 1202 Awakening. Thank you for the gifted. Another person in the chat finna be gifted with a membership. Thank y'all so much for expanding the Yap family. We're gonna keep on growing for sure. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I get into Meech's video announcement. So for the ones that follow me on X and have been seeing stuff on there, because y'all know me. X is a place where I'll definitely take a break from posting because it's just so toxic over there. But for the ones that have seen some of my stuff on X, y'all have probably already saw a couple of things today. But there's this guy named Joshua Carr on X. I'm gonna pull up his profile really quick just so y'all can see. Joshua Carr on X. He is somebody that I would consider on the other side when it comes to this Charlie Kirk investigation. Joshua Carr, right here, Joshua Carr on X. He is, like I said, he's on the other side, so the evidence is overwhelming, and he talks about debating Candace a lot. Like if you look at his YouTube page, I mean, when you go through his YouTube page right here, some of his lives are literally, debating Candace Owens fans. It's a whole bunch of like Candace stuff. So he's on the other side, clearly, when it comes to this thing. He has a lot of lives saying, debating Candace Owens fans and all that other stuff, right? So I've been seeing a lot of it. I've been seeing some of his little fat slop on X. And so, I decided to shoot him a message. I decided to shoot him a thing on X, whatever you call it, a mention. And so, I said right here, I noticed the debate. I noticed you debate the Candace side, quote unquote, because that's what a lot of people like to call it. Is that clear? There you go. I noticed you debate the Candace side quite often on your page, inviting you to come on a podcast and defend, explain your views. Pretty open-minded community. Thanks to y'all. We definitely open-minded over here. Pretty open-minded community. So feel free to defend your position in the best way possible, and you might turn some heads. I'm down if you're down. And then he responded, and he is, where is it at? He responded right here. Said, sure, send me a DM. Sure, send me a DM. And I sent it over. And everything's cool, and we are locked in to have this conversation. You know, y'all know me. I don't really like necessarily calling it a debate, because it's like, we know, what are we really debating? So I don't really necessarily like calling it a debate, but an open conversation is what I've referred to these things in the past. Open conversation, open discussion. So it's set for next Thursday. What is that? August 27th. So me and Josh Carr will be live on here. I've invited him on this channel, so he might stream to his platform as well. Who knows? But we will be doing a open discussion, open conversation next Thursday, 8/27, August 27th, around the same time as the Yappisode. So nothing new, nothing different between 9:30 and 10:30 for the start time. And we shall see if he stands on everything that he's been doing and saying lately. I think it's, from my perspective, it's very important to do it, because I just want to I want to get that side kind of like on record, as far as like coming on and standing 10 toes about everything that you say and do. And maybe you can explain it, because I'm open too. So I'm not trying to, that's the thing about like debating. That's why I say I don't really like the term debating when it comes to this Charlie Kirk investigation, because I'm open to hearing your side, and I'm open to changing my mind. If you can explain it, your side a little bit better, maybe it can be a little bit more convincing. It's so many different things. I'm not stubborn at all. Like, if you really think the evidence is overwhelming, please articulate it, explain it. Don't just tell me it's overwhelming. Break it down. And I might be like, you know what? You got a great point. I can honestly see that. And that's what I'm hoping for. And so, that's what he's going to come on and do next Thursday, because he has been, man, a very, an agitator to the timeline, is what I see the reactions on X. So I said, yeah, let's just do it, man. Let's put his money where his mouth is, and he'll come on the channel. And respect to him. I even told him that. I said, respect to him for being one of the people that have been saying a lot of stuff on X, and is not afraid to come on and stand 10 toes on everything he's been saying. Because we've shown in the past. I forgot what that guy name was. Shogun something. He's always talking trash about Candace. And that wasn't the reason I hit him up, is because, like, oh, I'm about to defend Candace. It wasn't that at all. It was just more so like, bro, you talk so much trash about everybody that is like on, they always call it the Candace side, but it's really just like, to me, the side of truth. You talk so much trash about those people, about us, that I was like, bro, get on live. I see that you got a YouTube page, so it's not like you camera shy or something like that. Get on live and let's chop it up. Let's see if you're gonna stand 10 toes about everything. And then I hit him up and publicly, and he was like, nah, man, respectfully, I'm gonna decline it. And I'm like, cool, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm just too small for you or whatever. But I don't know. I just feel like the folks that talk like big game, oh, you absolutely gotta stand 10 on all 10 on live, not with no pre-recorded stuff, and defend what you've been saying this whole time, instead of doing all these little Twitter fingers. Not that I'm applying that to Joshua, because that's what I'm saying. I respect and salute Josh for accepting the open conversation, but hopefully it's very beneficial. So like I said, next Thursday, August 27th, we'll be chopping it up and seeing where he stands and seeing why he feels like the evidence is so overwhelming. Y'all know me, I'm a straight shooter, so I'll make sure I ask some straight up questions, because those people on that side that do push that are very interesting. So we'll see. I just wanted to let everybody know that next Thursday, that is going down. I'll have like a thumbnail and link posted probably over the weekend, and already like have it up and stuff like that. And we'll get it going. We will get it going. All right. that is the news that I had for the housekeeping stuff. Now we can get into the actual content. Tune Day, oh my gosh. Yes, sir. I ain't seen you in a very long time, bro. I hope you're doing good. Thank you for supporting the channel. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're blessed, bro. Like, man, it's been so long, bro. Life sucks because I look back at those days and I'm like, you just miss them. You know, you miss them, but you can't really do nothing about it because life is life. It keeps moving. Everybody goes in different directions with work, with family, with it just sucks. You know what I mean? It just sucks. But bro, I hope you're doing good, man, for real. Yeah, I can't say all that, but yeah, you know, all day for sure. All right, so for the ones that don't know, Meech has been Charlie Kirk's like ex-producer or some ex-cameraman that has been very outspoken lately for all the things that he's been you know, used to do with Charlie, his memories and all types of stuff. So he dropped a documentary, or maybe not documentary. He dropped a leaked phone call today exposing Miss Shalami, of course, for the woman that she is. And it is very interesting. You guys would if you haven't heard it yet, you're gonna definitely love to hear this because it is very interesting information coming from a whistleblower that apparently knows Erika before Erika Kirk, right? He knew her as Erika France Vey, and he knew her as Erika, the one that wants to get put on in so many different industry. Erika, the try hard. He knew that Erika. So it is a very interesting perspective to hear this guy talk because he's gonna break down some of the things that, you know, if anybody's like questioning, man, is this guy lying? Does he really know Erika? You know, all of those little doubts. Um, he's gonna go into some details, and if you've really been following this case, uh, very good, like not like Andrew Wilson, but like actually good for like over a year, then some of these details that he's gonna say, you're gonna be like, oh no, he knows. He is on point, right? I don't doubt that he doesn't know Erika. It sounds like he knows her pretty well. So I want to play that really quick, and then we'll talk about it. Is this right here? Yeah, and then we'll talk about it, you know, as the video goes. So here it is right here. Take a listen because this is going to be very, very, very interesting.
Ultimately, because I was speaking out against Turning Point USA, its executives, Tyler Boyer, and more, I managed to reconnect with a fellow colleague from inside that conservative political ecosystem. Now, what transpired, you are about to hear parts of in just a few moments, but bear with me because I want to preface this first by saying a few things outright. I want to be transparent and honest. One, I am about to release a phone call in which I secretly recorded my source, and my source was a friend of mine. Again, I want to be transparent about this because it matters. This is not the norm for me, right? Like recording, even being in front of a camera. This
is Meech, the guy that came out a couple of weeks back for being Charlie Kirk's cameraman. And so yeah, he started his own YouTube page. Please go give him a follow. I don't know if that's blurry or not, but Artifacts Memoriam, Artifacts Memoriam on YouTube. I believe X is the same way. But yeah, this is Charlie Kirk's old camera guy.
Is not the norm for me. I'm not used to any of this, let alone being a renegade James O'Keefe who still has color in his hair, right? I don't normally record my friends when we are having casual conversations. However, the information presented within this conversation.
So I wanted to play that part just so you can kind of have a background of how this call came about. I didn't want to just play it outright, and I had to go back and backtrack. But the guy is saying that he had a friend that he received permission from to post this call. He secretly recorded him at first, but he ended up getting permission from him. So Meech is on the phone with this guy. This is not two other random people talking. This is me talking to this person. So now I'm going to get straight into the phone call.
video and then a bunch of other stuff. She was trying to get an Hollywood scene, but like couldn't really break through. And then with the modeling, she got way more gigs because she loves the part. And then she was a casting director and tried to get me on like the Love Island show back in 2000. And I told her I was dating someone at the time because I was trying to act too. She's like, Andy, you want a show? And I'm like, I'm dating someone, so I don't know if I could do that show because all those people try to hook up and like, you know, find someone they want to be with. Chi Lu told me, I'll never forget it, which is like, oh no, like all these people, they like hook up and get together and then like they get married for the show, but then you could always divorce them. You always just divorce them. And I thought she was just f***ing around with me, but she was like dead serious. And I'm like, that's weird. Like, that's a pretty...
So, and then he's talking about, you know, again, allegedly Erika being like a casting director, and she's casting for, he said, a show like Love Island. And if you don't know, those shows are pretty interesting. You know, I think they're like somewhat humiliation rituals because these people are sent on the show that are essentially like sim characters and they're controlled by, you know, us sitting from the comfort of our home and making them do stuff and making them argue and making them do all these different things, as they don't have, like, especially Love Island particularly, they don't have like cell phones on the island. They don't have a track of time. And yeah, they just go on there and start just losing their mind, get cabin fever, and we get fully entertained out of that. And yeah, a lot of times they never really get into relationships, real relationships outside of the show when it's over. They just, you know, willy-nilly on the show, probably end up liking each other because of proximity, right? And then they end up being boyfriend and girlfriend, or like Married at First Sight, or Love is Blind, and these people get married and just to get off the show and you know, pretty much divorce, break up. But now, since you was on this humiliating show, you're famous. Like, and everybody knows that these people that go on these shows are typically in it for that. So he's saying that Erika was essentially a casting director for one of these shows like Love Island, he said. And that's interesting because, again, now remember, keep in mind, this is the same woman that is now on stage in pulpits pushing down everybody's throat all of this religious content. And yes, people could change and all that stuff, but you have to address your past. That's my biggest thing. You have to address your past. You have to own up all the things you used to do. All of these different allegations don't come out, and you just get to ignore it and still be around kids and all this other stuff. And I mean, the kids part is coming up. I know that's not relevant right now, or that's not relevant right now. But like her being a casting director, and she's like, yeah, you're gonna go on the island, you're gonna hook up and do all these things with people, you're gonna just divorce them. And that's the same person that's preaching like all this stuff in the pulpit now. That's crazy. But it gets worse.
Weird. Like, that's a pretty weird like position to hold as a human being. Like, oh yeah, it's totally fine. Just go like around on this show and then like get married and divorce somebody for fame. Super strange, dude.
So like, what was this acting? So like, who's this guy? I don't know what. Like, what?
Oh, he was just like the head of the department. He was the head of that John Casablancas. They're an agency, but they're all.
We'll look into John Casablanca a little bit after this is over, but that's going to be a very interesting individual that a lot of people should have already heard of, but we'll get into him as well.
Of the world, they're all over in North America. Well, that's what we were part of, is John Casablanca, and then that's basically, I think that's where she got her A start in the modeling acting world.
Damn. So, because is that how like she got connected to the Trump modeling shit?
It's hard to say, because like everyone jumps ship, like, with the agencies and the model and stuff. They're always, if you're in, other agencies are always trying to, like, pull you into theirs, and get you to jump ship. Just, they each take 10, 15% of whatever their talent makes. I just know.
Somebody just said in the chat they used to model for John Casablanca. What? That just threw me completely off guard. That's crazy, especially knowing, like, I don't know how it went for you, but knowing what I know now about John Casablanca and all this other stuff is crazy. That's crazy.
We were in for a convention, with true John Casablancas, and then at the
Look, another person, I know I keep pausing, I'm sorry. Another person just said, modeling agency I went when I was young with my dad. He smelled something not right. It's insane.
convention, it's an expo. They have all the top, with true John Casablancas, and then at the convention, it's an expo. They have all the top managers there. So the goal is to get, like, picked up by Elite, which is the top modeling agency in Miami, and they do all Italy stuff, the runway. But she's not tall, so she can never do, like, the full runway stuff. But she can do commercial stuff. So, like, I think she might have got picked up there by somebody doing, like, Macy's commercials and all this other stuff where she flew around and did all these.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've seen some of these weird commercials. There's that Kanye video that leaked. There's this other one where she's, like, doing a milk ad, and so I've been trying to trace where what that connection is, because like, when you look up her background, it says she was raised Catholic. She attended Notre Dame, where she played basketball, earning and it's like there's nothing mentioned about this acting school. It talks about she established Everyday Heroes Like You, a 501c3. She played basketball in Regis University in Denver, but there's no mention of this acting school.
Yeah, I mean, it's you pay to go into school, and then you show up, like, once a week for a few months. So it's nothing, like, huge school-wise, but it is, like, she did go through it because that's how I met her. So,
he's saying he met her through John Casablanca's school, but the school is kind of like it's like not real.
Yeah, John Casablanca, she was involved in, and then, I mean, yeah, she bounced around celebrity. She was at Regis, she was at La Jolla Marymount in California, and she did online school at Arizona State online for a while. I think she might have.
Now, this is the part where if you had any doubts of believing this guy and you thought, like, man, he's lying, he's whatever, this is the part where I was like, oh, he know her. I mean, the school timeline is to a T. Like, sure, maybe somebody out there has been paying attention to, Barron or all these people that dug into her background and her past and started pulling up all her schools. Candace that did the same thing. Maybe somebody out there studied it and is pretending. Sure, but I don't know. That this is way too detailed. And again, this John Casablanca thing, nobody has said that before. You know what I mean? So he's bringing in that. He's bringing in the casting director with the Love Island thing, and he's also saying I met her through the John Casablanca stuff. But again, he goes into the school timeline, but then he goes into more details to further prove that he is telling the truth, that he really knows who Erika Franz-Faye is.
La Jolla Marymount in California, and she
It's okay.
did online school at Arizona State online for a while. I think she might have graduated from that. And then she went to Liberty and got her PhD. I mean, she bounced around from school to school. It was like crazy. And a lot of it was online when I knew her.
Wow, that's
So yeah, it's like I knew this person. I smoked weed with this person. What?
Oh, I'm sure the Christian conservative would love to hear that.
Dude, she did with her girlfriend, and we all went out, and like she had all these edibles, and we all did all.
She flew in with her girlfriend, right? He said that very casually, But that's another thing that everybody has been talking about, is that Erika is low key. You know what I mean? She go for that. She go on that side sometimes. We saw that in her past. We saw that with some of her pictures, like old pictures that she used to swing that way a little bit. And so him casually saying that too, it was like, checks out.
All these edibles.
The Christian conservatives would love to hear that.
Dude, she came to with her girlfriend, and we all went out, and like she had all these edibles, and we all did all these edibles together, and like she was just a chill, normal person who like you wanted to hang out with because she's gorgeous and also like going around the world doing cool shit. And she was like as like cool as we are right now, just like this is the truth. We're not calling bullshit, just a normal down-to-earth person. And then once she met Charlie, dude, I had people, that still are like, I remember when you said that, like you were like, this doesn't make any sense that she would.
I said the same thing about Charlie. I said this doesn't make sense. And that's why I think he's been honeypotted. And it's crazy that you say the same thing about Erika.
Oh, yeah, because she only dated athletes, dude. Like, she dated Cabot Phillips before that, briefly, and I thought that was strange. But then she said that she broke up with him because he said that she was, like, anti-Israel at the time. He said that the Jews were not going to heaven. And that was her answer. So, like, I'm sure there was more to it.
That was something we never knew. We never knew. That was something for me that, like, obviously this whole call is crazy, but that was something for me. I was like, what? Because we never really, Cabot has never came out and addressed this. Not that it was like a super, hey, I need to come out and announce that I used to date Erika, but it was like, you kind of did, because nobody really knew. And it was kind of weird to find out through the internet that you used to, like, that was just a whole weird thing. And sure, maybe Charlie was up to speed on all of that, and he was like, I absolutely knew that you used to, we're cool, and I know that you used to get down with my now wife, and that's okay. Maybe I don't know the guy, okay? I don't know Charlie. Maybe he was okay with stuff like that, but I definitely was like, Cabot Phillips used to date Erika, and Cabot Phillips is associated with Turning Point. What is happening? But we never knew any of the details of their relationship. But now we're learning that Erika broke up with Cabot because he said he didn't like Jews. I mean, this is insane to me. And it checks out because, when he said that, I was like, wow. So this kind of goes a little deep, because now we're talking about, that last dinner of like the Kirks and Tucker Carlson, that last dinner there,
She told me that.
Tucker Carlson even said, Charlie was he didn't, like he didn't like any of that, the other country. And he was like, and no, Erika definitely wasn't just like the polar opposite or something. Like, she definitely had the same views and all that other stuff. So when Erika and Cabot was dating, she broke up with the boy because he said Jews ain't going to heaven. But then somehow with Charlie, she's on the same anti, blue and white country train. But then Charlie dies, and then she gets right back to her old self, which is when she was with Cabot, and now she's on the whole Izzy thing all over again. I mean, she was on CBS, for God's sakes, crying, talking about, don't you just hate it when people just don't like the Jewish people? Like, you know what I mean? Like, she was doing all of that on CBS. So what's up with that? All of these flippy floppy, two-faced, wishy-washy things. But when he said that, I said, wow. So we have a period in time where Erika was anti-Izzy, and that was, we have a period in time when Erika was for Izzy, right? And I think she's like part Jewish anyway, so she got the connections and all that stuff. And then she breaks up with Cabot because Cabot, which is also weird because Cabot works for the Daily Wire right now. So that means Cabot is two-faced because now Cabot is okay with those people, because you have to be okay with those people to work for the Daily Wire. But then she gets with Charlie, and then she's anti-Izzy Then Charlie dies, and now she's back to regular pro Izzy. Like it's insane how she just keep flip flopping. But dang, Cabot, I mean, Shawty broke up with you just because you said Jews ain't going to heaven. That's tough. That's so tough.
And that Israel at the time. He said that the Jews were not going to heaven. And that was your answer. So, like, I'm sure there was more to it. But she told me that.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Let me put this up so I can see it clear. That's exactly right. Candace said that when Tucker and the Kirks was having dinner, Candace said that Erika was anti-Izzy. And that's what I mean. Anti-Izzy against Izzy. Yes. Erika was anti-Izzy. Charlie was anti-Izzy. So that's why the whole conversation came up, because it was like Tucker, you knew this, but then she died and then she flipped and now she's all pro-Izzy. And you knew this? And that's when that guy came on Tucker Carlson's podcast, he had that interview with Tucker Carlson, and the guy had confronted Tucker about that. He said, this last dinner with the Kirks, Candace made this video about you, blah, blah. And Tucker Carlson confirmed it. He was like, yeah, he had very strong views about them. And Erika was right there with him. Erika wasn't just a complete opposite and pushing like a whole bunch of neocon stuff. Like, she was right there with them and supported, like, yes. So yeah, it's insane.
That was Israel at the time. He said that the Jews were not going to heaven. And that was your answer. So, like, I'm sure there was more to it. But she told me that he said the Jews aren't going to heaven, and that, like, that she realized they had a separation of faith, morals, and that's why they broke up. I was like, okay. And then she started dating Charlie. And
I also want to put it out there. If they broke up off of Cabot Phillips saying Jews aren't going to heaven, then imagine the conversations, if they had any, of Charlie questioning that entire establishment. Like, maybe he didn't go that far of saying like they ain't going to heaven, but imagine the conversations of Charlie being like, I don't like what they got going on. I don't like our donors. I don't like the things they pushing. I don't like any of that. I wonder what them conversations were like if she was out here breaking up with boyfriends because they don't like Izzy.
And I was like, I get it. I mean, he's like 6'4". He's like those tall guys.
That is very true. Sorry, last time I paused it like this quickly, but that is very true. All Jews ain't, Izzy. Everybody not the same. It's different. You could also be talking about Izzy's government. Very great point. So I'm definitely not trying to generalize.
Like, he did play basketball.
Then she started dating Charlie. And I was like, I get it. I mean, he's like 6'4". He's like those tall guys.
Like, he did play basketball, so, like, kind of tracks.
Yeah, but before that, it was like soccer player, baseball player, NBA player. Like, and you're just, he's influential. But it's like, she swore she would never leave New York City. She loved it there. She'd never come back to Arizona. She hated it. She hated being here, dude. And even when they were dating, she didn't want to come back. But then...
Well, she was never around Turning Point. That's why I've been, like, so frustrated, is because, she was always off doing her own thing, which, okay, but, like, now all of a sudden you're just going to command the strongest political activism company in modern American history? That's crazy.
Yeah. So to see her go from that to this is like, oh my God, I don't know who you are, and gee, I don't really want to know, but you spent 10 years telling people to fight and, like, break the conversation, go on the offense, because conservatives just play defense. That's literally quote from Charlie. You're telling everybody to do that, and then the second that this event happens, shut up, listen to everybody, don't ask questions. You're a fool for asking questions. I'm like, cool, even if I'm 100% wrong, I'm gonna ask questions. Because Charlie got things wrong all the time, but he still asks questions. Like, that's why people flock to him so much, because he was intellectual and then pressed the narrative always. Like, and now we're just supposed to shut up like that. You guys can live your hell that you live, and you can stay at Turning Point and never grow as a human being. Like, you're gonna stay there for 10 years. Like, you're not growing as a human being. You're you're just in the middle of this cult, and the second you escape it, you'll see that all of your behavior has been forged by the groupthink of that whole organization, and that in the real world, reality isn't like that, and all these narratives that you guys have been playing to yourself, the real world doesn't work like that. And it's just sad. I don't know what's going to happen after this case. It's not like anything's going to change. I guess my point is nothing will change. Is like, okay, Tyler's guilty. What's going to happen to Turtle Boy after that? And then, okay, he's not guilty. What's going to happen after that? I mean, they've already shown their cards Turning Point has. So if you're still going to follow them regardless of what happens afterwards, I don't know. It's just like Daily Wire. Like, if you're going to go back to Ben Shapiro after Yuri showed us these real cards, I think like those who can see it have already bounced, have already dipped. There's a new coalition of people like us who see the truth, and I think that coalition hopefully is stronger regardless of what happens. And there's nothing I guess my point is there's nothing the Turning Point could do to retake what's been lost, that's already been lost. Turning Point has no one to blame but themselves. If you don't like what you and I have become, we didn't become this way because we just showed up like this. We became this way because we were in an organization, we believed what they were trying to do, and then there came a point for both of us where we saw, yeah, this isn't really happening, you guys are foolish. Like, we were on board. We wanted things to change. We wanted to help a movement. We saw the vision, and when you guys aren't actually going through with the vision and you're just doing bullshit, like, we're going to be disappointed, and now you've created this. Like, you created this because of your own failures. It's just like, we blame the parents for kids that go up and do atrocious things, or break out at 1 a.m. and start riots. Where are the parents at? Where are the two parents at? But then when the people who are in the organization who leave disgruntled because the vision that they were promised is nowhere near that, all of a sudden it's our problem. Like, it's taking the best people and their emotions and their hard work and their effort and their vision to actually help Americans, and it's just distorting it and exploiting it and we tell Americans to go fight and say your piece. Like, well, not all of us can do that because we have jobs and we'll boost. Like, we don't all have like $20 million in the bank, but we can just all say our piece without repercussions or fight off lawsuits. And yeah, we built an organization where when I came to it, there were so many people that disagreed with everybody, but then we're all able to still work with each other, and I thought that was fascinating. I was like, wow, that's what it was all about, right? And that's why I'm gonna.
Yeah, and so I mean that was crazy, and then obviously the internet started going crazy as well. I seen somebody say. Oh man, somebody talking about he's still dead about Project Constitution kids. Yo, that was funny. I ain't gonna lie. Project, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I'm still cool with you. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not part of them folks that do all that. Dog piling. You cool people. I appreciate what you do. You've done a lot. But that was funny. That was absolutely funny. I saw somebody say something about the girlfriends. It could have been like normal girlfriends, like friends that are girls. And that's true, but going off of context, going off of social media posts, going off of like all of that, she did used to swing that way. So, could it have been a friend that was a girl? Sure. But there's also a probability that it could have actually been a girlfriend for real. Now, if you didn't really have a history or any type of context that somebody could say, hey, you used to swing that way, then I would more so give you the benefit of the doubt that it could have just been a friend that was a girl. But the fact that she has a lot of things in the past that has pointed towards her actually swinging that way, and I'm gonna just go with that. But yeah, that was crazy. And then the internet obviously has been going crazy on that as well, looking up stuff. And look what somebody has already found. I'm gonna pull it. Let me save these images so they can pull up a little better. Look what somebody already found on Erika to kind of support this guy's story. Pulling it up right here. Boom. And then let me pull up one more picture. All right. So here is more proof that this guy is not lying. Here is Erika's profile on for a casting director. And so you can see it right here, clear as day. Now I want to get out there that this is from X. This is what somebody found on X. They pulled it up. They found that she was a casting recruiter. And they're posting it as theirs. I mean, just go with that. All right. This is not me doing my own research. This is just me listening to that phone call and then going on X and then finding somebody posting this on X and say, hey, I found her profile, her casting recruiter profile. So I'm just gonna, say that this could be true. It checks out. Okay. So here's her casting director profile, and it kind of makes sense if this is true. But she has casting recruiter for Game of Crowns season 2. Casting recruiter for I guess that show is untitled, or maybe the show is untitled. I don't know. But you see the casting recruiter there. She has the school that she attended that we do know is true right there. And then here is also something interesting. Or you can also see the bio a little bit. Founder of Everyday Heroes Like You. That's Erika. So Miss Arizona USA 2012. That's Erika. So this seems to check out so far as real. And then there is this picture right here. Oh, I guess this is just another thing right here. Founder, CEO of Everyday Heroes Like You, Miss Arizona. We just read that. And then, yes, casting recruiter for Game of Crowns season 2 on Bravo. I'm going to pull that up shortly to see what that show is about. And then casting recruiter here as well. So that is backing up the claim that she was a casting director. And it seems like that is a pretty supported claim. It seems correct. Game of, what is it, Crowns? Television series? What is this about? Bravo. 6 pageant wives competing on the Miss Circuit, whose lives revolve around glamour, perfection, and winning at any cost. Okay, so yeah, a little diva show. Okay, that was that one. And so then we have to remember the name that was mentioned, John Casablanca. John Casablanca owns the Elite Model Management. And this may not be new information for anybody, but maybe somebody out there may have been hearing this for the first time. But John Casablanca, who the guy in the call said that that's where Erika went to the acting school, and that's where he met Erika. John Casablanca owns the Elite Model Management Company, and the Elite Model Management Company was found throughout the e-files. So that's not good. John Casablanca is also, let me pull this up right quick. John Casablanca is also, or was also, cool with Donald Trump. So then you have to think about the connection of John Casablanca to the Trump pageant, because Trump did similar things, right? He had all of these young women and, you know, revealing clothing and all that stuff. Trump is also in the files that, you know, accuses him of doing very, very strange things to these girls. And I remember one time, I remember in the files I read up on one accusation that said Trump used to measure like these girls like hoo-ha and rate like who is whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know what he was getting out of that, but it's in the files. So John Casablanca was cool with Donald Trump, and they were that was picture was like from, it says the Elite Model Management Agency, and there's also a picture of them together on Getty Images, which Getty Images is an official website that you won't have to worry about if they're lying or not. Getty Images is pretty credible. But then you have to think about how Erika, if she was at John Casablanca's at this school, then then he's connected to Trump, or at least friends with Trump, and then Erika also was in the Trump pageant. I mean, hey, that checks out. You know, that checks out. This little connection that she has. But then when you go into John Casablanca's kind of like his life, I want to pull up a couple of things. All right, I definitely, yeah. So we already know his elite model agency and stuff like that. But where is that one thing that I saw? I had it put up on my phone, but my phone is doing something right now. It's all right. We might find it. We might find it on the fly. That's okay. But I'm gonna just pull up some of the things that I was looking into today. And so you can see right here, I know it's Wikipedia. A lot of people don't like Wikipedia, and I agree. Sometimes Wikipedia spreads misinformation, but I'm just going off of this Trump connection because we do know that to be true. But the Casablancas was friends with future U.S. President Donald Trump, representing Trump's daughter, Ivanka, when she became a fashion model at age 15. And then where is, I think this is it. It's another one. I'm gonna find it, bro. I'm gonna find it. This is another one though. Here are some of his misconducts. According to British newspaper The Guardian, Casablancas was frank about his personal preference for girls of only just legal age. Child women, he would call it. His relationships were far beyond complicated, though he denied the rumors that he had charmed entire portfolios of elite employees into bed. And we just talked about somebody in the chat of the TikTok family. Somebody was talking about how they were, I guess, affiliated or close or maybe almost into the John Casablanca's orbit, and they said that they were asking for their portfolio and trying to get it set up, and apparently their dad sniffed it out and said no thanks. So this is crazy. At age 40, Casablancas began dating 14-year-old while he was married to the model here. 50-year-old Casablancas married his third wife, 17-year-old. She was a Brazilian. And then, but what? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna find it because it was so interesting because it almost was to a T the thing that Erika had dealt with. Let me click on this right quick. I want to see this. I don't know if this right here is. I know he has connections to Big Jeffrey, right? The Elite Model Management and John Casablancas is in the files. But this thing that I'm reading with you guys right now is for the first time And I like I said, I don't know if it's true or not. Wikipedia do be doing some crazy stuff, but all of this stuff, like as far as the title, is true. The convicted child, Big Jeffrey cultivated connection with influential individuals and institutions across the globe. Okay. Background. All right, so let me go. I know I say, bro, this happens all the time. It's on my phone. There's this accusation that I really need to find. Here it is right here. And it's interesting because it looks very familiar. And when I read it, I thought, that's odd. I feel like I've seen Erika do that before. Or I heard of it happening before, not seen it. This was from one of John Casablanca's profiles, or from a website, or somebody reading up on him. In 2020, The Guardian reported that he was connected to Big Jeff. According to a 2019 lawsuit, Casablanca sent a 15-year-old female model to meet a photographer later identified as Big Jeff, who did something to her. Now, what was interesting about this particular accusation right here, or in this lawsuit, according to this lawsuit, is that this was a very similar story to what Erika Franz Faye did, that we have learned. That is still public information. And that is Erika talking to that 15-year-old girl, and having this relationship with her, connection with her, and all this other weird stuff, sending these text messages to her. And Erika also set up this a fifth. I don't know if these 15-year-olds are the same, or the same female, but Erika also set up a 15-year-old girl with a random model and had her meet the model, and it ended up being very weird. The girl ended up talking to Candace, and she said, yeah, the model, the photographer was very weird, and it was just an uncomfortable situation, blah, blah. We don't know who the photographer is. We have no idea. Could it have been Big Jeffrey? Maybe. We don't know. But I do know that the story is dang near the same. 15-year-old girl sent to meet a random photographer, and the photographer was a creep. I mean, that is literally Erika Franz Faye's story. And this literally is saying the same thing. So even if this is not Erika that set this up, I think it's an also crazy thing to have the same thing, two separate things being the same thing, just different people. That's way too close. So even if that one wasn't Erika, I think this also shows that Erika was in that orbit to also be doing the same thing over here with other girls. And so this John Casablanca guy is just not, I mean, you can just pull him up. I'm not a investigator or researcher outside of my casual research that I would look into somebody and be like, dang, that's interesting. But yeah, the guy has connections to Big Jeff. It's known. He is the owner of Elite Model Management, which is all up in the files, which is known. Erika, who is connected to the Elite Model Management, which is known. So I think everything that we have been trying to fill in these missing pieces, especially in the years that Erika's kind of like missing. Remember that like 9-month period where we couldn't figure out what she was doing, where she was at, and everybody started kind of speculating if she was pregnant because it was like 9 to 10 months of her going MIA. So maybe it was this acting school that was like under the radar, and nobody knew where she was, and that's what she was doing because she was only going once every couple of weeks. He said they would do something there. And so maybe this was part of the time of this missing timeline of Erika, but I do know that this is another person confirming that Erika is in that orbit. That is enough for me, because somebody in that orbit, in the big Jeffrey orbit, and is also the person that's in pulpits preaching to everybody and around kids every single day. I don't understand what's going on in the world where we aren't seeing the media like completely surround, like paparazzi. What happened to like back in the day, right? Back in the day, when somebody would do something crazy, you best believe that paparazzi would be all over them the second they in public, and we would be seeing clips on World Star and all these other places of like the paparazzi just, hey, what do you have to say about this? What do you have to say about that? Where is that? Where is that? Why does this lady get to be connected to, or in the big Jeffrey orbit, but she never has to respond or confront or address any of these things? But yet she still gets to walk around and deal with kids every day and do all of these preaching events. There's no way. And I know they probably, I was about to say that they probably protect her in so many different ways, because we're going to go right into that. JD Vance has some interesting things to say when it comes to the Charlie Kirk investigation and Erika, but they probably protect her in so many different ways where they make sure they avoid areas where they don't have to worry about people randomly going up to Erika asking her questions and stuff. She's definitely not seen in public. She probably feels like she's going to die every single day, which is crazy because you're like, oh, Charlie wanted this for me. But yet I also feel like I'm going to lose my life every single day. That's a whole nother conversation. But it's just crazy. It's crazy. And so JD Vance had an interesting segment on, what is this, Clay and Buck show. He had an interesting take on the Charlie Kirk investigation. He had an interesting thing to say about how people have treated Erika. And mind you, this is somebody that is attempting to run for office probably in 2028. And this is how he feels about the Charlie Kirk investigation. So keep that in mind for anybody that is a JD Vance fan or a JD Vance supporter. And I know his supporters are decreasing every single day. Rightful, like completely valid and justified. The guy is a sellout. I mean, it's so many things, bro. These politicians are just so fake and phony. The guy he didn't like Trump either, but now all of a sudden he likes Trump. And all of these things are going on, and he doesn't ever confront Trump about anything. These people can't even, if you can't speak out while being affiliated with these people, then I don't want you to speak out when you're finally detached from them. That's just how it is. I don't care how hard it is for you. I don't care what the job is, what the role is when you sign up for it. If you got to compromise and abandon some of your principles and values, all because I'm with the certain party, so that way that means I can't speak out against them. No, you're not for the people. You're not you for them, right? You for the elites. You trying to keep them happy, but you're not for the people. So you can't sit here and act like you can't have your cake and eat it too. You want supporters, you want people to back you, but then when the people got something to say, you ain't got nothing to say because those are your bosses. But then when you detach from them, now all of a sudden you got a lot to say. I don't care about what you got to say right now because you didn't say none of that then. Matter of fact, you took a check to stay silent. I can't respect you no more after that. And that go for all of these people that do that. All of them. Ain't nobody safe when they do that, right? Tucker Carlson did that. First off, there's a whole nother thing. But Tucker Carlson did that in general, as far as he didn't even like Trump at first, but somehow got up there and lied and said Trump is great for everybody and brought brought God into it, religious stuff into it, saying this is a great thing. God is among us. Trump is getting elected when he didn't even like Trump. That's crazy. But then Trump is in office and he's so supportive and being in MAGA and pushing all this other stuff. He never said a word, but you knew exactly what he was. But then when you get your access cut off and you get your check cut off, now all of a sudden you want to create your other platform, and all of a sudden you want to, criticize Trump. No, bro. No, you didn't want to do none of that. when you was in there. And cool, that might come with a job. But that's just what happens. If you can't speak out while you're in there, I don't want to hear you when you come out of there. They go for all of them. All right. Megyn Kelly has done that too. And, you know, y'all gonna get mad, but like Candace did it too. You know, all of these people that was in there with Trump never said a word until they was out of it with Trump. Charlie did it too, you know? So like, it's just, but again, you also can tell when people turn the corner. So like, if they are saying something when they get out of it with Trump, I'm like, listen, that was definitely messed up to never speak up. But as long as you make it right now, you can be forgiven. Everybody can be forgiven. But when he, like, you know, you just got to take those steps to do that, though. And I feel like, you know, people ask me all the time about, like, bro, you know, Candace is in the same boat as Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly. Like, she came from Charlie. They all come from the same cloth. I'm like, absolutely. But again, it's all about who's doing the right thing right now. And I can kind of, you know, be like, all right, you know, your past is a little crazy, but I appreciate you for doing the right thing right now. Tucker Carlson is not doing the right thing right now. Megyn Kelly is not doing the right thing right now. So when you start doing that, I can't look past any of the shady stuff you've done in the past. You know what I mean? It don't seem like you changed one bit. And so let's listen to what JD Vance had to say about this Charlie Kirk investigation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm most frustrated at the attacks on Erika and some of the other staff. I mean, you know, Mikey, who was Charlie's chief of staff and a very good friend of both of ours, you know, Mikey was the person who called me and told me that he thought Charlie actually had a chance when he was in the hospital. You know, of course, that didn't work out. But the idea that somehow these people were involved in Charlie's death, it just didn't.
Why is Mikey McCoy, who didn't even see what happened to Charlie, didn't even see it, but he turned the corner and was gone before Charlie hit the ground. Why is he calling JD Vance, giving updates? You know, these people are for sure above my entire pay grade. All right, when it comes to these connections and how everybody knows each other. And I'm not at all oblivious of the fact that Charlie was connected in the White House and they know everybody, right? The White House and these people absolutely probably put money into Turning Point. So they all know each other. And I know Charlie and JD Vance was cool. I'm just trying to figure out at what point in time did Mikey have time to call JD Vance while Charlie was in the hospital saying he thought he was going to make it? Out of everything that's going on, Mikey don't even know what's going on. But somehow he got JD Vance's number on speed dial, which I'm sure he got his number. But I mean, again, even them two talking, it's like, bro, Mikey is like 21 years old. And he's the guy that JD Vance just calls up and has great conversations with. You know what I mean? So you got Mikey McCoy, who didn't even see what happened to Charlie, is on the phone with JD Vance? Okay, continue.
Rages me in the hospital. You know, of course, that didn't work out. But the idea that somehow these people were involved in Charlie's death, it just enrages me. And you know, as you know, we all have friends, and we all have friends who you know, have family members that they love, and you know, when just the idea that Erika has suffered not just the loss of Charlie, but all this BS that's been directed at her, that's very frustrating to me. I think conspiracy theories writ large, I mean, you know, I obviously haven't seen all of them. I've actually tried to follow a lot of them because I do think one of the ways that all of us reacted, or at least a lot of my friends reacted to Charlie's death, was we tried to learn as much about it as possible. You know, who is Tyler Robinson? Why did he do it? You know, were there other people who had foreknowledge of it? Because remember, there were some social media posts, you know, sort of threatening Charlie in the days up to the attack. And, you know, I asked myself the same questions. Are the people making those posts, were they just being stupid? Were they just being threatening? Or did they actually have foreknowledge of what Tyler Robinson was about to do? So there's a lot of, I understand the desire to not buy the official narrative, But if you're going down a rabbit hole that leads you to attack Erika Kirk, I mean, all we can ever do is trust our instincts, but also trust, our rationality. And I know Erika, she's a.
Okay, so you're talking about trusting your instincts and your rationality. But if somebody were to tell you, hey, bro, your close friend died unexpectedly. What's today? Friday. Your close friend died unexpectedly on Wednesday. You're like, what? You're so shocked. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. What happened? Man, I don't know. He died in his sleep, cardiac arrest, heart attack, something at the house, right? On a Wednesday night. You're like, dang, that's so crazy, blah, blah. And however many days later, weeks later, whatever, right? You end up being like, okay, you're starting to figure out the timeline of things. And you're like, hey, his significant other, right? He has a significant other. So let's figure out where she was. Hey, where were you on Wednesday night? Oh, I was with it's the crazy part. It's so like obvious and blatant that is weird, but they're trying to gaslight us and making it seem like it's perfectly fine. But she's like, oh, I was, with my mom. And I was with my kids. We was at my mom's house. We were visiting. She stays in the area. We were visiting, and we were spending the night there, whatever. And so I wasn't even home. I came home and I found him in that condition, in that way, and I called the police, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, okay, that's crazy. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. But then you end up finding out, right? You go talk to the mom. Hey, such and such, they were with you, right? Sarah was with you on Tuesday night. How did you find about the news? Like, what happened Tuesday night? Was everything feeling normal? Sarah wasn't with me on Tuesday night. What are you talking about? My heart would drop. My heart would drop. Sarah wasn't with me Tuesday night. Who told you that? What? I wasn't even in town Tuesday night. I was out of town. Who told you that she was with me? Oh, Sarah told me she was with you. She said she was with you Tuesday night with the kids. No, I've never, I was not in town at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Sarah was not with me whatsoever. Immediately, I will go to, you are guilty of something. Now I have to figure out why would you lie about something like that? Why would you lie about where you were when somebody is dead? Somebody is dead. And you can't even tell me where you were? And so that's what's going on in this case, where you have Erika lying about where she was between September 8th and 9th. Right? You just cannot lie about stuff like that. When somebody dies, you cannot lie about where you were. That is like police 101. Then on top of that, the whole doctor's appointment thing. The doctor's appointment, with the mom, right? We don't know if that's true. That doesn't check out. Nobody at the doctor's appointment can confirm that they saw somebody collapse in the parking lot. Nobody can confirm with that. Nobody can confirm this doctor appointment, period. Somebody can easily come out and say, hey, what is her name? Lori Franchve had an appointment at 12:30 on Wednesday. That could easily be proven. Or 11, it wouldn't be before Charlie, right? But you get my point. Lori Franchve had an appointment on Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. Here it is. Nobody has ever said that. Nobody has ever said, I saw Erika collapse in the parking lot. Nothing, none of that. So all of these things happening, that is me, JD Vance, trusting my gut and being rational that something is off. Because you got this lady lying about where she was a day to 2 days before Charlie died. Why? If this man was the lone gunman by himself that chose to wake up one day and said, I'm going to defend my lover, you have pissed me off so bad, I got to revenge for my boyfriend. Or avenge. I gotta go get him. I gotta go protect my boyfriend, and I gotta go get Charlie Kirk. But then my boyfriend ends up saying that I never talked about Charlie Kirk. So all of these things are going on, right, JD Vance? My gut is telling me that something weird is going on. And JD Vance is like, no, you need to go with your gut. and be rational. These things that are going on right now, this doesn't make any sense. Why are you guys attacking Erika? Okay, bro. Okay.
Very, very good person. She's nationality. And I know Erika. She's a very, very good person. She's trying to raise 2 kids who just lost their father, and she just doesn't deserve the attacks that have been.
I don't know if anyone else remembers, Barron slipped up and said that the hospital Erika's mom supposedly had an appointment was closed that day. Really? No, I don't think I've seen that episode before. Or like, I don't think I saw that episode. And then why was it considered like a slip up? Like, was he not supposed to share that? If that's true, then I mean that there's more evidence that her mom did not have an appointment.
Leveled against it. I know Erika. She's a very, very good person. She's trying to raise 2 kids who just lost their father, and she just doesn't deserve the attacks that have been leveled against her. And in terms of, like, you know, the exploding microphone, I mean, all these different theories. The one theory that I've always just been very annoyed by, because I, like, you know, I served in the Marine Corps, and I know a lot of close friends who are ballistics experts, who were scout snipers back when that program was active in the Marine Corps. And there was this idea that, you know, this is gruesome, but that Charlie had to have been shot with a smaller caliber round. And I talked to probably a half dozen people about that who actually know ballistics, and they're like, you know, bullets do really odd things when they impact the human body. And the idea, first of all, like, the idea that somebody is smart enough to engage in a conspiracy to murder Charlie Kirk, but they're going to plant the wrong caliber weapon, and some sleuth on the internet is going to find the real truth. That, for whatever reason, has always struck me as so bizarrely irrational.
That's the worst conspiracy, that he was hit with a smaller caliber. JD is a joke, bro. Bullets do weird things. I'm sorry. It's still physics at the end of the day. It's still physics at the end of the day. Okay. So you saying, yeah, man, bullets sometimes, you know, if the vibe is off, a bullet can do a weird thing. It's still physics at the end of the day. So again, for all the people out there, JD Vance included now, your Paramount Tacticals, bro, if you feel like bullets do weird things, then go out in the field and show it doing weird things. Show me. Because there are people out there in the field doing these things, right? When the official narrative came out about all of this, there were hundreds of people being like, bro, I will shoot a 30-06 a million times. I promise you, I'm going to get the same result. It's not going to stop in something that soft. And so for these people to come to the conclusion that it should make sense to you that a bullet did a weird thing, when it is extremely rare for it to do a weird thing, do they not see how that just contradicts? Bullets do weird things. It is like a 1 in a million chance that it will happen, but it's possible. And then somebody's like, okay, sure, I'll give it to you. 1 in a million, it's possible, but it's extremely rare. So why are you trying to really sell to me and explain to me how this 1 in a million time makes the most sense in the world? Like, please, you're making me feel like I'm going crazy.
Like, if you really think that there was a grand conspiracy, whether it was Israel or the French or somebody else to murder Charlie, but you think the people who were smart enough to pull that off were not smart enough to drop the right murder weapon, that has always struck me as just a bizarre part of the theory. But, you know, I sort of see that as just, that is life in the era of the internet. So that stuff doesn't bother me. The stuff that bothers me is when they go after Erika and Mikey.
Oh, man, those other conspiracies that they throw out there, you know, Charlie being alive, the different caliber, all these different weird things, man, that really, really, really does bother me. But you know what? That honestly doesn't even bother me that much. What bothers me the most is when people say something about Erika and Mikey. When y'all talk about Erika and Mikey, oh, that does it for me. That's crossing the line. What? First off, Erika's a whole nother story because, bro, we ain't even finna get into all of that again. Mikey's in the same category. When y'all go after Mikey, hey, it's something going on for real. When y'all go after Mikey, that's when they cross the line. Dog, Mikey walked away in less time than anybody reacted in the crowd. We played a video on the episode a couple of episodes ago of a wide shot of the entire crowd reacting to the gunshot or the bang, right? Hundreds to thousands of people, right? Because it's a wide shot, so all you see is a whole bunch of heads. The bang happens. Every single person for a split second is trying to figure out what just happened, right? What was that? Then the next second, everybody ducks, right? You go into flight or fight response. So it's a what was that? And then a duck. And then everybody ducks for a little bit. And then once they don't hear anymore, everybody starts taking off running. Mikey was already gone by the time any of that happened. Before anybody said, what was that? Before you look this way and look back the other way, Mikey was already behind the tent gone. Like, what are we talking about? But now we tripping. We tripping for being like, yo, that was kind of weird, bro. Why you do that? Why you walk off like that? Before anybody looked back the other way and before anybody ducked, Mikey was already gone. What if the shooter is right behind the tent, Mikey? You don't even know where it came from. You don't even know how Charlie fell. You don't even know what happened to Charlie. And you just walk off. Walk off right into the barrel, right? That's because you knew for a fact you was good. Or else anybody with a regular human reaction, there's no way something like that would happen that fast. First off, every single human that don't know what's going on would be stunned for a second. None of us have been acclimated to gunshots, okay? Unless somebody here, you know what I mean? Hey, if you from that, you know what I mean? If you from that life, then you from that life. But nobody here is like, sure, I hear gunshots every day, man. It's like, it sound like bacon popping on the stove. Like, that's crazy. If you just that acclimated to gunshots. But I feel like most of us ain't acclimated to gunshots. So if I hear a gunshot, I'm gonna be like, oh, shoot, what was that? Then eventually you're gonna be like, oh no, that was a shot. I've never in my life seen somebody bang, gone. He's gone. Dog, what if you was walking right into the barrel? Somebody right there. He didn't care because he knew. He knew. And then I'm seeing this video with Terrell Farnsworth that Candace showed. And Mikey's back under the thing in that shot. So I'm like, oh, so you walked off. You're on the phone with your wife. All this weird stuff. Then you come back and now you're talking with Terrell Farnsworth. Like, bro, what's happening, bro? And then you got the vice president, this weak dude. You got the vice president coming out talking about the fact that y'all are talking so bad about Mikey and Erika. And this is the part too where like, this is why I'm like, yo, it's hard to see, you know, that justice side. It's hard to see it, bro, because you got folks like the vice president coming out and saying, bro, stop looking into stuff. Y'all are being irrational. Y'all are doing this. Y'all are doing that. He's over here talking about Erika, defending Erika. I hate the attacks on Erika. She doesn't deserve it. Bro, I saw her talking to a 15-year-old girl saying that your lips, your skin, your eyes, they're beautiful. Are you serious? I'm going to touch your butt. This Valentine's Day, I'm going to touch your butt. I want to play in your lady garden. Give me sex. 15-year-old girl. And I'm supposed to look past that? As she works with kids every single day? Still? I guess she'd be cool around your children too, huh? I mean, y'all are just weird at this point. this is the part. This is another reason why I believe that she's part of that Big Jeffrey class, right? We talk about those class of people that are just protected. This is another reason why I believe it, because there's no way anybody in this world that's normal would have these allegations and accusations. And you got the vice president being like, how dare you? How dare you talk about Erika, even though there are all of these accusations of Erika talking to a 15-year-old girl and proof of it? How dare you judge her? Are you serious right now? Bro, I'll slap you the hell out of you, JD Vance. You people piss me off. All this crazy, nasty, like weird stuff going on. And we are holding these people accountable. And you got the vice president talking about, nah, bro, y'all tripping. Leave Erika alone. She don't deserve it. No, she actually does. she actually does. I got kids. Everybody, a lot of us got kids. That's where I draw the line. Okay. I draw the line in many different places. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that I don't tolerate, but I'm like, hey man, this world is evil. These politicians and all this stuff, they're gonna do evil things. It's hard to do anything about that, but I refuse to watch somebody that we have now saw or seen their history with kids and children and all of that stuff climb the ranks. It's one thing for these people to already be up there, and then we figure out that all of these people are like child predators and all types of weirdo stuff, but they're already there, right? You already got your Trumps, you got your Big Jeffs, you got these people, you got your Diddy's. All these people are already up there, and then we end up finding out that our entire childhood growing up listening to these people, music or influencers, all these other things, they had these shady pasts. R. Kelly, all these people had these shady pasts. But when we get to watch this stuff in real time, we get to watch these details unfold in real time, and then we're watching Erika climb the ranks in real time and live time, I would not allow it. I would not allow it. Absolutely not. It's just not happening. And she's just climbing the ranks every day. Vice president coming out protecting her. You know, they protect the Big Jeffrey class. So if anybody asks me, hey, do you think Erika's part of that Jeffrey class? Absolutely. There's no other reason. You can't even explain how somebody so random. Charlie wasn't even as protected. Charlie clearly got touched. He's not here no more. But for some reason, Erika, untouchable. Untouchable. It's insane. Seems like everybody's a PDF these days. Bro, all of these people that's in these positions are. It definitely seems like it. It amazes me. And they just protect each other. They protect each other. And speaking of Charlie, and 9/10 is coming up around the corner too. It's already been it's already been a year. I'm not laughing at what happened with that. I'm laughing at it was a comment somebody said earlier today about like it already being a year, and something was said on the internet just about the investigation and how it's already been like a year, and it was making a funny comment about something. I can't share it right now. It's just I don't feel like catching no smoke. I didn't say it, but I don't feel like saying it because I know people are gone. But Charlie and them are doing a Turning Point event at let me see if I can pull it up right here. I'm actually let me go to Turning Point's page. I want to read some of these comments. But Turning Point USA is holding a memorial for Charlie Kirk at UVU on 9/10. And Frank Turek is going to be in the building. Glenn Beck is going to be in the building. Kind of weird to me. What are they going to like be in the same spot? They be doing some weird stuff. Like they done it before, right? Erika on CBS when they brought on Hunter Kozak. Hey, Erika, by the way, Hunter Kozak is here. Hunter Kozak was the person that asked your husband the last question. And you know what? He's here to ask you a question. What? That's weird. Why? Why him? Why are we making it seem like, oh, Charlie was asked his last question and he died, but he's gonna ask me a last question and I'm gonna live? Like, it was some like, what's up with Turning Point and doing stuff like that? Now they're going to UVU for Charlie's memorial 9/10. I just find that very weird. And the comments are not favorable. That would have traumatized me if I was her. It should have traumatized her for sure, but she's not normal at all. And it was like pre-recorded and everything, so she saw it coming. I definitely would have been like, absolutely not. What? Do not bring Hunter Kozak and ask me the question. That's so weird. All right, here is the thing right here of Charlie Kirk's memorial being held 9/10 at September 10th at UVU with Glenn Beck and Frank Turek, which, by the way, will probably be very entertaining because Frank Turek is just Frank Turek is something else, man. Frank Turek is something else. The stream keeps crashing on you. Is everybody else okay, or is it something that I need to do? Please let me know. Let me go through some of these comments to see how happy everybody is for this UVU event happening on 9/10, Charlie Kirk UVU event. So let's see. This is weird, just cultic weird. Stream is fine for me. It might just be me. Okay. Frank Turek, will he be answering questions? We want to know who got in the back of the SUV with him. And by the way, it's so disgusting to give him a role in honoring Charlie when he betrayed him. Erika and Andrew Kovac have not mentioned one of Charlie's statements about Einstein, October 7th, standout order, Gaza, the donors funding open borders, war with Iran, his text saying they're going to do that, TPUSA Doe style audit, or leaving the pro-Israel cause, which reminds me, I do want to play a clip of not all of it. I might just pick a random spot and play a little bit of the Turning Point and Andrew Wilson debacle, because he did talk about the Doe style audit. Andrew Kovac did, and it was just very interesting. I guess I can say what I have it on my mind because I might not be able to find that timestamp, but he was like, the Doe style audit was completely normal. Charlie, he kept track of every dollar that went in and out of TPUSA, so he wasn't suspicious of anybody taking the money. He wasn't suspicious of anybody at all of taking money and hiding it and all the other stuff. And I was like, that's just a lie, bro. That's just a lie. Because we all know people have already done the research, right? The Leah Files has already done the research of money being missing, who he was potentially looking into, which was Tyler Boyer. And then also in general, if there is however many millions that goes through Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk does not know where every dollar goes. Okay, please stop trying me. Like that is the dumbest statement that he could have made. Charlie knows every single dollar that goes. No, he does not. No, he does not, bro. Am I the only one who finds it absolutely disgusting they're having Charlie Kirk death anniversary special at very location? He was killed. What kind of demonic-ish is that. I agree. That is you know, another one of those weird things that they choose to do. Blake Neff. You know, somebody talked about, I guess I'll leave that for the Andrew Wilson thing. At the same place Charlie lost his life, absolutely diabolical. Having Glenn Beck and Frank Turek headlining. This is the Zio cherry on top. How far this organization has fallen from what Charlie wanted it to be. Will Erika be in attendance selling merch, wearing a bedazzled pantsuit, or perhaps the Janet Jackson Rhythm Nation look with fireworks going off behind her? Sounds ridiculous, right? It's not like that. It isn't the norm from this group. TPUSA die with Charlie. Yeah, right. I mean, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Erika should be there. Will she? I don't know, but it would make sense if she's there. Will Tara Farnsworth be there to remove any SD cards and immediately put them into a laptop while texting? It's crazy, huh? But then you got folks like it's just crazy how TPUSA has really pissed off Charlie's supporters. Like, nobody was ever a supporter of Blake Neff, Andrew Covett, and Erika, right? Everybody loved Charlie for Charlie. But it's amazing to me how they have pissed off all of Charlie's supporters, and then you got Andrew Wilson that walks in and he's like, well, look at that. When you approach a situation in good faith and you ask TPUSA to answer a question for you, they just hand stuff over. I'm like, what world are we living in right now? What is happening? There's 85% of people probably have approached the situation in good faith and they just want to know what happened to Charlie. And y'all told them all to shut up, right? If y'all told us all to shut up, then obviously, yes, there's 15% of people that probably truly just absolutely hates Charlie and are just like doing stuff out of spite and trolling. But I want to say 85%, even if you want to drop it and say 70%, 70% of people are approaching this situation in good faith and saying, hey, bro, I just want to know what happened to Charlie, bro. Like, can you please give a Q&A and just tell us what happened? Like, something isn't right. And they just won't tell anybody anything. Andrew Wilson goes in there. He calls Erika the R word. I can't. TikTok will ban me if I say it. YouTube probably wouldn't care. But he calls Erika the R word, and Erika turns around and gives Andrew Wilson a secret text message after calling her the R word. And then he gets to secure a spot on the Charlie Kirk show after calling her the R word. What world are we living in right now? What is happening? It's so backwards. It's so backwards. And so, yeah, a lot of people are not happy at all about this UVU event happening. I can't do it right now because I'm on YouTube, but definitely when I'm on like TikTok only, yeah, I can do it. I can't do it right now. But yeah, a lot of people are upset about that. Also, while I'm talking about Andrew Wilson and while I pull up some of the things he said on the Charlie Kirk show, he was supposed to drop the text message today on the Charlie, the secret text message that he tried to bring up during the debate, saying, Erika and Turning Point USA gave me this text message of Charlie texting his security team saying that the left was gonna kill him. And he was supposed to drop that today. I saw it with my own eyes, but he had the stream set and everything. I saw the countdown and I was going to play it because I wanted to see what it was. And he's also trolling at the same time because he's trolling the Candace, he would call it, method of dripping out evidence and keeping the people entertained and all that other stuff. He's doing that on purpose. He's trolling on purpose doing that because he's like, Candace does it, so why can't I do it? And so, of course, he was supposed to drop it today, and he ends up deleting that stream. And now he's saying he's not dropping it until tomorrow. So Andrew Wilson is just trolling at this point. But, again, the guy should, y'all know my take. The guy should have never received attention to begin with. And I think a lot of people know that. So it makes me ask more questions on why he still received attention. Because I think a lot of people are way smarter than, than just allowing this guy on. But he definitely does not. Yeah, right. He doesn't deserve secret text messages. And then let me pull up some of his comments that he said on the Charlie Kirk show. He trying to bait Candace into speaking on it before dropping it, but Candace already did though. Candace already, like, we knew this before he even entered the debate. Candace already said that she knew what he texted Andrew Covet, which was they were going to kill me, but he didn't know what he texted Dan Flood. But she knew it was our message. So that's when Erika came out and lied and said, oh, it was on a different app. That's why I didn't see it, blah, blah, blah. But then she ended up coming out saying, but he didn't say they in this other text messages. He said the left. But that's when, again, Candace said that it wasn't other messaging apps. It was iMessage. But yeah, the left thing, we already knew that from Candace. So it wasn't really shocking. I think what I'm waiting for is, what platform was the message sent out of? Because Candace already said that it was our message. So we'll see. And then I want to know, what was the exact message, who he sent it to, who was on that thread. So we'll see. Now let me pull up Andrew Wilson and the Charlie Kirk show shebang.
Yes, this honey trick prevents memory loss, but if you already have dementia, Alzheimer's, or...
All right. Forgive me. I'm definitely not playing this whole thing. I just want to play, like, just drop in some random places and listen in. Because I've already listened to this whole thing. I'm definitely not going to make y'all suffer.
Of their own positions,
right? No, that makes sense.
Or falsify any of their own evidence, and so the holes in it are just miles wide and make absolutely no sense. And so the inferences don't make any sense. They get blocked immediately.
Find the word complicit.
I did actually. If you watch, what I said to her specifically was, "What did you mean when you said complicit? Then, what does that actually mean?" And what she said is, that means that you believe Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk. And I said, wait, that's it? All you mean by complicit is that Erika believes that? Yes. And then I went a step further again and said, so are you just saying that she doesn't believe that? And then Candace says, yeah, I absolutely don't believe Erika Kirk believes that.
So I'm going to play the clip.
It's like,
we'll play the clip debate with us. She ended up pulling something like this French Foreign Legion thing where she thought there was some cartel guy here in Arizona that was going to try and assassinate her. And so we couldn't do it in Arizona, actually. That was like, I don't know if people know that story or not. I can't remember what's public and what's not. There were multiple layers that she was paranoid. Oh, there could be assassination threat when I'm approaching the HQ, and then there's like a cartel danger, and then there was a new danger that came after that. Endless excuses. And we saw this where she was insisting you had to go to her place.
Yeah. And that's my other question, Andrew. So there's been much made about this the earpiece, and you did question at some point if there was information being fed, but
I agree. I 100% agree that all of this was a distraction. I mean, if you've been listening for, I don't know, the last month, then you should have heard this already. The second Andrew Wilson was brought up, I remember making a video about it, and I was like, dude, what are we doing, bro? This is the biggest distraction ever. And so, I think, was it yesterday or the day before? Whatever Candace video I saw, episode I saw, I heard her say something about like, this was all a distraction and all the other stuff. And so in my mind, I literally was like, I mean, most of your supporters already knew this 2 weeks ago. So what's going on, you know? And so a lot of people also, I say, there's like fans and then there's supporters, because the fans will agree with Candace 100% of the time. They'll never question anything, because I saw a lot of fans being like, you know, I look at some of the comments, they're like, yeah, it was a distraction. I'm like, y'all know how many people have been saying that? But then when Candace says a distraction, you're like, oh yeah, it was such a distraction. Well, everybody been saying that before. This shouldn't even have been a thing. He should never even been on. But like, whatever, I guess now that Candace said it's a distraction, everybody's like, not everybody, but you know, there's a lot of people that was like, oh yeah, that was definitely a distraction. Okay, bro, whatever. But yeah, it 100% is.
Both ways. I think we have a clip on.
And I thought that maybe if they heard a lot of what I had heard, that they would kind of understand my thought process and how I got to some of these inductions. And so I'd like to start by going all the way back, and maybe you can tell us actually what the relationship was between Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk. What actually was it?
Yeah, I'd like to go first there, even though you have far more to say, Andrew, because I can just speak from my perspective as someone who arrived late 22, moved out here in 23, that I have never met Candace Owens and don't know her. Maybe I saw her in person once at a distance. Maybe I shook her hand. I've never had a conversation with her to my knowledge. And I think that speaks to something, because I was with Charlie for close to 3 years. And I feel like I met most of the people Charlie was super close with. I met donors. I met his family members. I met his team. I met a lot. And I don't know Candace. So I like to use that as a preface, but you have more that you can say about that.
Yeah, and Blake, you have that great video
Yep.
that everybody plays of you reacting to Candace.
Oh yeah, where I'm kind of like raising my eyebrow.
Yeah, it's fair to say Blake was early on the being suspicious train. Yeah, if you go back far enough, I mean, that's why, I mean, I'd put out that tweet basically saying, you know, Candace, your central foundational lie is that you and Charlie were friends. You were not friends, right? Show me something from recent, you know, the end of Charlie's life, the last 12 months or whatever. I think she and then I said 18 months, 24 months. I think she showed something at 22 months. And so I got community noted, right? Okay, whatever. What I can tell you is that I think Charlie and Candace were friends back in 2018, part of 2019. That did not end well at all, actually.
Could you give more details there? Even I would like to hear that. Like, what caused her to depart, if we can say?
Well, I mean, there's two things, really. And part of it is you got to give credit where it's due. She was a rising star. She was growing really fast. You know, Charlie famously sort of offered her a job. What did you, sorry if I missed something that you said, Andrew. Oh, okay.
No, you're good.
And so, yeah, I'm not going to make y'all suffer through all of that. But pretty much, again, summing it up is, you know, they went for those two. Matter of fact, I know most people watch Candace's episode. Okay, so I'm definitely not going to recap the entire thing. The biggest takeaway that I wanted to get from this is, you know, everybody has been saying that the entire point of the debate was to catch TPUSA kind of like in the act of supporting bad faith actors, and look who they sent and look who they affiliate and then associate themselves with. But I don't really think that's a great reason to say or use as the reason for this debate, because there have been many other things that have gone on in the last year that is worse than Andrew Wilson. This was nothing, and they literally trolled the entire time, being like, they said we paid you, and they said that we did this. You're our dark horse. Like, they just made fun of the whole thing. Like, they made fun of it. They're not going to admit anything about you know, Andrew Wilson being supported by them and all the other stuff. They will never admit that. But yet we can use our own, we can, you know, imagination and kind of like imply, or I guess assume, that they are cool, because again, Andrew Wilson was talking trash about Erika. So how is Andrew Wilson, the person that y'all are going to label a good faith actor, going to be able to come in there after talking trash about Erika, and then y'all are going to give him this secret text message? So clearly y'all are in cahoots. But again, it was just like this whole thing about like, this was not necessary to prove anything of TPUSA. They have been terrible for a year. They've lied for a year. Has everybody already forgot? Maybe I haven't. I know I haven't. But did everybody forget that just a month ago, Blake called Candace a coon? Okay, and he's still employed. He's still supported by TPUSA. Erika has never made a statement. TPUSA has never made a statement. So we don't need Andrew Wilson to prove that TPUSA backs shady individuals. That's why I've been saying that for the last 2 weeks. Everybody's like, oh, we need to, are you serious? Stop giving, and please don't come for me, okay? It's my opinion. Stop focusing on Andrew Covett. Stop focusing on Blake Neff. These two people have been shown, like they have proved who they are for a year, okay? So nobody needs to worry about these people anymore. You know what I mean? Like, as far as the people that actually want to move forward in the case and in the investigation. Them two have been distractions from the very beginning. All right, now you're just adding Andrew Covett to the mix. I mean, Andrew Wilson to the mix. It's just a back and forth thing all day long. So, you know, TPUSA have showed they've shown who they are a million times. All right, when Blake called Candace a coon, what more do you need? Okay, TPUSA doesn't need to do something else for everybody to be like, oh, I'm opening my eyes to TPUSA. I can't believe what, dog. TPUSA supports Erika, Kirk, Erika Franz Vey with the whole history and shady past that we know of. What's a Andrew Wilson to a Erika Franz Vey? What's a Andrew Wilson to a Andrew Covett? Who's friends with the Adelsons, who worked for the Adelsons, who was sneaking around and getting word from Donald Trump about Donald Trump taking $100+ million from Miriam Adelson and then effing her over, and then Andrew Covett, I'm assuming, snitched and got Trump popped. You know what I mean? Like, these are the TPUSA actors and characters. You're Blake Neffs. Right, I just said that he called Candace a coon, but that was not even the end of Blake Neff's racist rant. He's been a racist his whole life, and they employed the guy, and they never ever had to put out a statement on anything to say, hey, you know what, we don't condone. Right, they had to put out a whole statement on Candace Owens when she made that Hitler comment that wasn't even really about that. It was taken out of context, which Andrew Wilson even said it was out of context. But they made a whole statement about that, about this whole Candace thing, right? They have never, ever came out and made a statement about any of these people. Andrew Covett lying about the surgeon. Erika lying. Blake being a racist. They have never, ever made a statement about any of those people. So that's why I was like, dog, what is everybody okay? We do not need to figure out how slimy TPUSA is. And that's why we gotta figure out Andrew Wilson. And this just shows how bad, oh my gosh, bro. Like we can't, this trance that everybody is in, it can't last forever, okay? Everybody should have already been hip and up on game on TPUSA and should have been like, yep, I know who they are. I don't need you to lie to me or do weird things 50 million times for me to believe you. Show me one time who you are. I'll believe you until you prove me wrong. I'm not going to give you a benefit of the doubt. I believe you. Now, if TPUSA came out with a statement, then I would have been like, okay, at least they can say, hey, we don't appreciate what Blake Neff said and called Candace. You know that? We don't appreciate Blake Neff calling Candace a coon. That's not what we stand for at TPUSA. I know Blake doesn't work for TPUSA. He works for the Charlie Kirk Show, but it's an affiliate under the TPUSA organization. So we don't appreciate that. We don't stand by that. There's going to be consequences. Blake's on, leave or anything like that. We don't stand on that, Then you have other people that come out, your Brandon Tatums, your other people. You know what? We don't stand with, racism. That's just not okay. What he said is not right. All the things, right? Andrew Covett comes out, but no, they don't do that, do they? They don't do that, do they? He calls Candace a coon and nobody comes out and says, look, I don't like Candace. I don't like her at all, but I also don't like racist people, okay? I don't like racist people more than I don't like Candace. So I'm going to come out and say, hey, I don't condone, I'm on screen with Blake every single day. I'm on TV with Blake every single day. And I'm letting y'all know that I don't condone that. That's not cool. I don't like Candace. I'm at a, we have our differences, but I don't condone any of that stuff. That's not, all these things, right? They didn't make none of those people say any of that. Any of that. We got no statement about nothing. So that's why when y'all hear me, y'all gonna call me I'm complaining, and y'all love doing that. Not everybody. Y'all know what I mean, though. A lot of people love to do that. I'm complaining, all this other stuff. When I keep on saying, bro, y'all gotta stop demanding and requesting TPUSA to do stuff. Y'all gotta stop because they don't care. Stop asking them to do stuff. Just either just do whatever you want to do to move forward and just prove that they're wrong, and maybe they'll come out and try to defend stuff or backtrack. It ain't no reason to wait for them to catch them slipping. Just do it. Just do it because they've already shown who they are, or move on from TPUSA because everybody knows that they're shady individuals. Ain't no reason to be doing this cat and mouse game with TPUSA. That's just my opinion. They're never going to admit to anything. They're just going to troll. So that be the part where I just be like, yo, I don't know if I can, because Andrew Kovach said in the thing with in the Charlie Kirk show with Andrew Wilson, Andrew Kovach said that Candace said that she was going to burn the organization to the ground if the right people weren't involved, right? Like if the people that she didn't like, I'm sorry. If people that she didn't like was in leadership, she was going to burn the whole thing to the ground. And to be fair, I'm going to listen to her clip to see her side of the story so I can get her side in the context of that. Because, just to be fair. But I told people on TikTok, I said, I honestly don't really care of the back and forth because my biggest thing is Candace and Andrew Kovach have done that before of like, you said this. No, I didn't. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. No, you're lying. No, you're lying. Are y'all serious right now? Like, I don't like to engage in all of that nonsense. You know what I mean? I really don't. So when he said that, my biggest thing is how they also respond to, because like they'll be laughing through it all, and I'm like, is this a joke in a game to y'all? You know what I mean? Like, what's up? And they both do it. Okay, they both do it. So that's why when he said that, I was like, I don't even really care. Could she have said it? Yeah. Could she have not have said it? Yeah. I don't know. But I don't engage in the drama part because that's what they be doing. I'm like, this ain't really funny, but why are y'all laughing? So I don't really plan on listening to her side, but I will because I know some people wanted me to just hear her side. And again, I wasn't like, what? I can't believe Candace said that. Like, I didn't really care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I'll listen to her side just to listen to it though.
Held up the letter. I messaged you because
she explained that. Yeah, that's what I said. I'll listen to it just to hear her side. But I just don't like all the back and forth childish stuff. You know what I mean? You're lying, I'm lying, or you're lying, no, you're lying. I don't like all of that, bro. I don't like all of that at all. But if I had to guess, I don't think that she implied that if Erika, like, I think it was like one of those like clip farming moments that it was, and I explained that in the video. I said it was 2 clip farming moments. It was that one of Candace said she was gonna burn it to the ground because everybody was like, whoa, and that's exactly what she's doing. So she must not like Erika. And I was like, oh, of course, they're gonna run with that. And then the other one was Andrew Kovach saying that Charlie said out of his mouth that Candace is just obsessed with money and that's her biggest problem. And I was just like, they're just looking for clip farming moments to have clips run around the internet and all that. So that's why I was like, I don't even care about all of that, bro. But let me hear what Candace had to say about because yeah, that is a crazy claim. So let's see if Andrew Colvett was telling the truth or if he's lying. Which I'm gonna assume he's lying. That's the moral of the story every time.
And said this. Like this was our conversation. I can't sleep. Just and I had been speaking.
Where to God?
And you mean Turning Point?
Turning Point. If the wrong people, and I just assumed because she was very obviously
there were
anti-Jewish.
rumors at this time, like there is
this is
chatter
5
online.
days, 6 days after whatever it was. She said, "I'm going to burn down that organization. I swear to God." And I just thought she meant if the Jews take over. Or something
Ben
like
Shapiro. Let's just say the name.
Ben
People were
Shapiro,
throwing out because Ben Shapiro had appeared on the show. Some people ran with like Ben Shapiro has now taken over.
Well, he hadn't
USA.
appeared. I don't know if he had appeared on that. I think he was actually going to show up the next day on the Tuesday because.
Yeah, Blake, you have no idea what you're talking about. Actually, if you go back and watch my show, I said early on, and now I have a different opinion. I said, I think people that all think that Ben Shapiro, because he said pick up the bloody mic, wants to take over Turning Point USA. I said, I think that that's just wrong. I'm on record saying that. So you can't just make stuff up, Blake, and pretend that I was taking the bait about Ben Shapiro. What I was actually taking the bait on was the conversations that I was having with Andrew Colvett on the phone. I was speaking to Andrew Colvett on the phone every single day, and it was Andrew Colvett who was telling me, and we were speaking about a potential foreign angle in Charlie's assassination, okay? I can show you text messages to that effect. I can actually show you this call log if you can pull it up. He's talking about literally on August 14th. After he and I had been speaking, it was just, you have the exact date, Andrew, in case you want to make a timeline, September 14th, 2025 was when you and I spoke for 17 minutes. On the 13th, on the 12th, you were the one that was telling me about the Bill Ackman summit. You were the one that was telling me about Bibi Netanyahu's letter and telling me that Mikey McCoy had this letter on Charlie's laptop. And you told me basically that Charlie in this letter said that he was kind of pulling away from the Israel cause. We talked about that extensively. You were the one that told me about the text messages. Notice I'm saying plural text messages to Dan Flood and to yourself the night before that Charlie thought that he was going to be killed. And you never, ever, ever once said, and when I spoke to other people who confirmed this, that it was the left. In fact, I specifically asked you, who is they? And you said, I don't know.
Someone said, guess what I did? What did he say? Reginator. Guess what I did, y'all? I unsubscribed from Candace Owens today and Baron Coleman, which is why I didn't know about today. You just triggered 120 people in the chat. Dang, bro, what happened? What was the last straw for you for you to do that? That's crazy. No, that everybody's entitled to how they feel. Because that's a tough one.
No, you were the one who told me about that chat, that Charlie saying I'm abandoning the pro-Israel cause. So don't.
Yeah, please. Because she don't want justice for CK. I mean, I've had my opinions. I think something's been weird lately. Something's been weird. And then, somebody told me that. Somebody told me. Was yesterday? Let me make sure I'm not, because I'll be seeing so many things online. So forgive me. Managing so many different platforms. Was yesterday her last podcast, right? Is she like on vacation or something like that? Do I have that correct? I feel like somebody told me that. Yes. 2 people say yes. Yeah, she's off for a week. Well, off for a week. It's her anniversary. Off for her anniversary. Okay, everybody's saying the same story, so it matches. Oh man, it's just one of them things, bro. It's one of those things that I've said before that something is off, because I've said it before again, so this is not anything new. But when the whole Andrew Wilson thing started, I'm just putting it there. It's kind of been a little weird before then too, But when the Andrew Wilson thing started, I started calling that out for it to be a distraction. And I was like, something feels a little, whatever. And then, she started gearing her shows or centering her shows around Andrew Wilson for like a whole week. And then the next week was about Andrew Wilson. And then she canceled like 2 shows last week because she was preparing for Andrew Wilson. Then the Andrew Wilson debate happened, and it was, in my opinion, we can say 95% of the problem was Andrew Wilson, but the debate was trash. So it was almost like, what was all of this for? And then now, this week, she drops the 2 clips of Terrell Farnsworth that she says she's had since October. And then she goes on vacation. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
Make it seem like it's weird that I was thinking about Israel in those days. And then Bibi Netanyahu goes on and says, I didn't kill him, as you are feeding me this information that I would not have had otherwise about how Charlie declined to have Bibi Netanyahu on his show. And he was growing increasingly more agitated with Israeli involvement and willing to walk away from this. And I can even show a text message.
I think I did see, I got to watch the whole thing. I haven't been able to watch the whole thing with Dave Smith and Candace Owens, but I do need to eventually.
That I sent to you, and then we talked on the phone because you're a PR agent. So whenever I would text, you would call. Smart way to do this. But where I even said to you after Bibi went on and held up the letter, I messaged you because you were the one that told me about the letter and said this. This was our conversation. I can't sleep, just destroyed. September 11th. This is all September 11th, but you were on a plane, so it was coming in weird. You wrote same, in and out of sleep, and I'm up again. I said, who did this? This was a government hit. We need answers. And then you can see on September 11th, you and I had a conversation, and I said, Bibi's lying about the contents of a letter that Charlie wrote him. He's making it seem like it was just him writing a love letter about how much he loves Israel. I know that's not true, and it's making me sick. Oh, no, it wasn't true because Andrew Colbert was the one who told me about the letter. So it's just incredible. Like, he is reintroducing this as if Candace was like, she's going to burn. Like, I was basically saying that if this is true and there is foreign involvement, like, we will burn this place to the ground. If they're staging this to try to take over his company, meaning we, because I'm talking to you and this is Charlie's organization and we don't know who killed him yet. We don't know what the motive was. And he was.
Yeah, I've seen that too. And I'm aware of that. She does have a scheduled, break every 6 weeks. Yeah. I just think that, based on what happened last week, I just think that it was, a tough timing situation this time, because to her supporters that do tune in every day and look forward to things, and y'all know where I stand. I've told y'all before that I've doubted back a little bit, just because of whatever. And so I'm not necessarily, like I said, this is my first time hearing this part, but I just think that based on all of that and shows being canceled and stuff, and then the debate was the debate, which was super pointless, which is what we knew 2 weeks ago. And then, I've saw a lot of comments on this week as well, and it's mixed. Fair, mixed emotions, mixed feelings on how this week was. Again, fair. And then so now that she's going into her scheduled break, I just think the timing was very, very bad. I'm not gonna lie. Could she help it? Probably not, because the vacation is always the same, 6 weeks. But again, this goes back to the Andrew Wilson debate. The Andrew Wilson debate was very pointless and was a distraction, which she has admitted on her show that it was a complete distraction. So that's why I'm like, yes, we all knew that. That's why we were trying to figure out why you took it, but whatever. But I just think it was just not good timing for the people that are on the fence right now. I don't think it was good timing.
Totally supportive and giving me more information. And now he's pretending like, oh, I don't know why she said that. I don't know why. I was so scared. And actually what he said to me on the 14th was, no, on that front, we're good. We don't have to worry about that because the board has already voted in Erika. Don't say this yet. We're not announcing it publicly, but Erika is taking over the company. And what I said to him was, thank God. So he left that out. He left out the context that actually Candace became a bull. And as I was telling her information about how Charlie was pulling away from Israel as a possible motive for what happened, as we had no answers. I mean, this is 4 days after Charlie's assassination. We didn't know anything. We didn't know if there were foreign ties. We knew nothing. And he is giving me this Israeli narrative. Now he's like, oh, I think it was, she just thought it was the Jews. I don't know why. Well, you do know why, Andrew, that I thought Israel was involved in this and why I still believe that there is an Israeli angle. And to try to wrench yourself out of that as the person who was my number one source on all of this information is complete lunacy. And I think I have a message where I even said, give Erika my number. Was that on there where I was like, give Erika my new number? Like 14th, after we're talking about this, I'm angry now. I'm at a stage of real anger. Also, please send Erika my new number. She only has my old one. Your whole narrative that you're trying to sell now, as if I was very happy that Erika was taking over the organization. And when I was fearful that there could have been some sort of outside foreign involvement and motive with Israel, who wanted his organization for reasons that were not yet clear, but we all knew Bibi's behavior was very strange afterward, and you agreed with that. So try to tell the truth, Andrew. Try to put things in their proper context. Tell the truth about France and what was going on and why Charlie agreed to it. Tell the truth about why Israel was on my mind, what you said about Bill Ackman staging an intervention.
And to be clear, Andrew Kovac has absolutely, no credibility. So when he said what he said, I for sure was like, he's lying. But but that again, that's what they do. I've started to and we have to realize that as people as well, that there are things that happen, in my opinion, that is like planted and kind of like orchestrated for the plot. What do I mean by that? Andrew Wilson. Okay, I think things are put in place to for the plot, to make it a little bit better, a little bit spicier. And those are the things that me personally, I'm like, I don't really rock with that. I feel played with. Is all of this entertaining while at the same time going for truth? Yeah. People can't really say, you can't tell anybody to not view it as entertainment when these people are throwing around $300,000 and all of these millions and all of this advertisement. They're treating it as entertainment too. So you can't really get mad at the normal watcher for saying that this is like some type of entertainment. But in that same point though, I don't really like when I know it feels like entertainment. Like when I feel that something was put together as entertainment, I don't really like that, because it's just like, well, what we doing? And so, for example, another example, Ben Shapiro coming out and randomly saying 10 months later that, hey, Charlie's security team decided to call me and give me updates while Charlie was bleeding out in the car. Why would you ever say that? Why would you pre-record that when you could have went back in post-production and deleted that? Why would you pre-record that and then post it? As soon as that happened, for the ones that know, we've been like, y'all get the insight on everything. But I'm like, as soon as that happened, I was like, bro, that is one, either a lie or two, is for the plot. And I was like, now that he said that, Candace is going to take that and then have like a 2 or 3 day show off of that. And then what happens? She does that. And then it's this whole, because he was like, I was having lunch with somebody that morning, somebody. And I literally was like, if you don't want to say who, then why would you even make that so suspenseful? Because now you're going to make everybody like, who was it? Who was it? So I'm like, why would you even make that so weird? And then when he did that whole thing, I literally was like, I feel like this was for the plot. And now there's going to be a whole side quest again of trying to figure out what Ben Shapiro was talking about. And that's what it was. So that's why I say I hate that it comes to that, but I'm just using my own common sense here. I literally, as soon as that happened, I said, nah, there's no sane, logical person that would come out voluntarily and use their free will and say, yeah, Charlie's security team called me as he was bleeding out when they know that we don't like each other. So I was like, nah, that's weird. And then, yeah, Candace went into that whole thing for about 2 or 3 days to figure out who he was having lunch with and all this other stuff. And it ended up being some like random guy that, you know, sure, he's a bad person. He's scored. I ain't gonna say it like that because I don't know the guy, but like he's connected to the weird people and all the other stuff. But it ended up being like nothing. But for the plot, it was something for about a week. So like those are things that I just peep. And I'm like, I don't like that because I know that was orchestrated. I'm just bringing y'all into my thought process. I'm like, I know that was orchestrated, and if you can orchestrate one thing, you can orchestrate many things. That I promise you, that's not the first time. So then it makes you continue to go down the rabbit hole, right? Of if that was orchestrated, if y'all came up with something to entertain everybody with that, then what else has been orchestrated? What else has been put out? I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying.
Who said about Charlie declining to have BB on his show, which you also admitted that you even expressed that concern to Joe Kent, which you now make it seem like he's an enemy, but you were the one who put the Israel narrative in everyone's mind. Andrew, it was you. And by the way, I think for the first time ever, you were telling the truth. You were telling the truth. And then you suddenly pulled it all back and started lying and have been attacking us since, the people who are trying to get to the bottom of this. And I have to, I don't know, assume that you're doing it out of fear. That's the most charitable read on why you're lying in this way, is out of fear. Because if you truly do believe that Israel had something to do with Charlie's assassination, then you would probably recognize that they would have no trouble assassinating you too. Again, that is my most charitable read, but I wanted to put things in their proper context because this is all they have left. Of course, they spent no time going over any of the explosive evidence or answering any of the questions that we actually want to know from Turning Point USA, because they're not going to do that. Anyway, we'll be right back after a brief break.
Queen said, what are you saying? Queen, I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying, you feel me? That's all I'm saying is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, you feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying. You feel what I'm saying. Oh my gosh, bro. Oh man. Y'all be cracking me up, bro. I swear. Y'all be cracking me up. Someone asked about the oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I did end up seeing I did end up seeing the DD interview, the whole thing, and yeah, it was bad. It was bad, you know. Especially on Warren's part. That was very, very disappointing on his end to do all of that. And then DD admitted that you know, he's definitely let that go for way too long. And that's what we were talking about. I was like, yeah, bro should have definitely cut that off, you know, 45 minutes to an hour tops. Because Warren was just on some BS, bro. But that's embarrassing. But that's the part where I was talking about that last night too, the other night too, where these people that don't do live shows, live podcasts, that are used to being live, I'm like, oh yeah, those are just like Twitter warriors, Twitter fingers. They all big and they can do all this tough stuff. But when you live, it's a different ballgame. When you live, you got to stand on what you're saying. We're going to really figure out if you really mean what you say and say what you mean. And a lot of these people don't. A lot of these people be just performative, trying to act big and bad on the internet. And Warren was one of them. Warren got on the internet and he tried to play Mr. Cool, Mr. Nonchalant, and it failed. That jump was embarrassing. It completely failed. I don't know what his supporters got going on and all that, because his comment section was all supportive. I don't know. All of them weird too. because that was embarrassing. It was cringy. So it was weird. Queen, I already told you what I meant, Queen. Did you hear the audio of the guy who knew Shalami before she even got with Charlie? Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Yeah, see, yeah, Angela said it. Yeah, we showed that earlier. Queen, you know what I'm talking about, man. Why you got me trying to go into details, trying to explain stuff? You know what I mean. You know what I mean? I said what I had said before. You feel me? You get what I'm saying? Let me see. Oh, let me see. This ain't no TV show. I mean, yeah, that's why it's weird though. It's weird because like that's the part, like it's not entertainment, but at the same time, these people are entertainers. You know, these people are influencers. So, you know, when they do stuff like this, especially when it comes to this topic, it's like, just a little icky, a little shady, a little put off ish when I know things are orchestrated and put out there for the plot. So I said that on X too before when I forgot, but it was about something about Andrew Wilson and it was something about TPUSA and all that stuff. And it was like, Jay, do you think, you think TPUSA something? And I was like, bro, it's for the plot, bro. It's for the plot. It's for the plot. All right, let me see. We hit on that. We hit on this. We hit on that. We hit on that. All right, there's one more thing. I mean, it's not really. I guess we could have already expected that. Pretty much what I also was going to show was Andrew Covett. If y'all remember, he said some BS in the debate, and he was talking about he was also like, oh, bullets do weird things and blah blah blah. And he told Candace that the bullet could like make the wind move. He was trying to explain Charlie's shirt moving, and basically Trigger Smart, he made a video about it. If you care at all, he made a video about it today, pretty much debunking Andrew Wilson's claim that bullets from that far could hit something and make an entire shirt move and stuff. Trigger Smart debunked that by literally shooting from far and putting like a plate with sand on top of it and empty water bottles, and then he would shoot right in between all of it to see if any of that would move, because obviously all of that would move much easier than a full shirt, and none of it moved. Like none of it moved. And so that pretty much just goes to show you that Andrew Wilson was just talking out his butt in that interview with Candace. And Candace is not like a ballistics expert, so she let him get that off, but he was absolutely lying. And I think she ended up saying, like, I think you just made all of that up. But yeah, Trigger Smart made a whole video debunking that, saying, Andrew Wilson is just talking out of his neck, because the bullet's not gonna make a whole t-shirt go like that when it doesn't even make sand move from that far. And he shot all different calibers and all types of stuff. Did you have secondhand embarrassment for him, Jay? For Warren, what's his name? Warren, right? Yeah. Warren was definitely embarrassing, secondhand embarrassment, because he's trying to, like, again, it's that I'm trying to play nonchalant and I'm trying to play cool and all that. And it just wasn't that. He didn't play that role well at all. And I think Didi called that out too. He was like, bro, the passive aggressiveness does not suit you. And it doesn't. The sarcasm, all of that, it did not suit him whatsoever. It was such a bad look. But his supporters ate it up. But I mean, yeah, but it wasn't a frangible round though. That was something else that was shown in the courtroom. that it wasn't a frangible round. And Andrew Wilson said that in the debate. He was like, if it was a frangible round and it was this, it was that, and it was like it wasn't a frangible round. And then on top of that, because it wasn't a frangible round, those bullets did not cause any of those things to move and trigger Smart's video. Now, frangible round, different story. I don't know, but we know that TPUSA and a lot of those people pushed for a long time before the prelim that it could have been a frangible round because they were trying to make it make sense, but it wasn't a frangible round according to the documents and the ballistics report coming from the courtroom and all that. All right, let me see if I got anything else that I saved for y'all. Because y'all know me, man. I be saving a lot of stuff for y'all. I be saving a lot of stuff, a lot of thoughts, a lot of opinions. JD Vance, we talked about that. Oh, yeah. Balls and strikes over here, everybody. Balls and strikes. I'm not at all bashing anybody, okay? So please don't get in your feelings. I feel like I got to preface this. We've been doing this for months, and I feel like I got to preface this every single time. Balls and strikes over here, okay? I am going to play a video of, there's been a couple of gotcha moments that is not a gotcha moment. For example, Andrew Covett and Blake Neff and Andrew Wilson, I think they were trying to pull up a clip of Candace saying that Erika was complicit and Erika was involved in some way, but yet they were trying to get it as a gotcha moment, saying, see, Candace said that Erika was involved in Charlie's death. And it's like, no, she never said that. And they would try to put clips side by side, and the clips would still not have Candace saying Erika was involved in some way. Like, she never said that. I mean, no. She wasn't involved in his death or complicit in his death, but complicit in some way. That's two different things. But calling balls and strikes, somebody made a clip today about something about, and I remember too, and then I'm gonna hear it for context because maybe I heard it wrong. But somebody put a clip today because they're clipping up some things that Candace said, and they were talking about that Candace at one point in time, and people are allowed to change their minds too. So Candace at one point in time said, I never said that. She said that Tyler Robinson is completely innocent, and she said that before. But this is a clip of her saying that Tyler Robinson is completely innocent, and then in the debate and lately, she's been saying that Tyler Robinson is involved in some way. And I have heard both, and it's nothing wrong with changing your mind whatsoever. At one point in time, Candace could have felt like Tyler Robinson didn't do nothing at all. And that's the best part about everybody being a critical thinker and an independent thinker, because if you wasn't, or if you weren't, then you would be believing like your progression throughout this investigation would be on Candace's timing. That's not okay. That's not healthy at all for everybody to only think on her, wavelength and her thought process and her timing. That's bad. But that's so bad. But this is a perfect example right here, because at one point in time, she said Tyler Robinson is completely innocent, and now she's saying Tyler Robinson is involved in some way. That's fine. But this goes to my point of just everybody should just think for themselves, because I know for me, I've always disagreed with Candace on, like, she's changed it now, but I've disagreed with the whole Tyler Robinson is an innocent man. I'm like, no, he ain't. No, he didn't pull the trigger, but he ain't no innocent boy that should just get out and walk free. I'm like, no. He didn't pull the trigger. So if y'all trying to get him for that, then he definitely need to get off of that. But do not release that man, because he knows something. I've always said that, but this goes to show you that people can change their minds, and that's fine.
Very likely that Tyler Robinson is involved in some way. Is he the only person involved?
And I've been saying that.
You have been saying that. Yes, you have been saying that. Yeah.
Like, I've never said I think he's completely innocent. I want you to understand that, by the way. These influencers are calling for the murder of an innocent man. Like, I've never said I think he's completely innocent. They have got their guy. It is Tyler Robinson with not a shred of evidence. It's unimaginable to me to call for the execution of an innocent man without literal overwhelming evidence. After the public execution of another innocent man.
So, you know, she had a lapse of memory right there, because she did, for a fact, like, come on now, you can love Candace all you want to, but let's be for real here, that she definitely said that he was innocent, and she said a couple of days ago that she never said that he was completely innocent, and that you know, clearly she did. But again, people can change their minds. That's fine. Does she know that she said that before? I don't know. We don't know these people, because she says she is confident that she has never said that before. That's a whole nother thing. But the point I'm making is that people can change their minds. Like, it's completely fine. She could have very well thought that he was completely innocent, and then months later said, you know what? I don't think he's completely innocent, and that's cool. But I just know that it's just more proof that you should just think for yourself, because it's okay. It's okay to think for yourself. A lot of us have already came to that conclusion that, no, he is guilty in some way. He's just innocent of pulling the trigger, but he is involved in some way. We have been saying that. Some people haven't. Some people are coming around to it. Some people think he's just a outright patsy, innocent patsy that has no idea what's going on, and somehow he was framed for it. Some people think that. So, like, you know, just think for yourself. It's okay. It's okay. I promise. I promise. It won't lead you in the wrong direction. That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, clickbait. Now I always listen to Candace. She never said that Tyler was completely innocent. People need to listen. She says he's innocent of killing, not innocent of being involved. But this is what I'm saying. If I gotta, like, sit here and like listen to every single word she says 5-6 times in a row just to figure out if I heard the right thing, then, like, we doing too much. Like, in this video, like, she literally said an innocent man. Like, she said it, and it's okay. It really is. But, like, oh. It's okay. But, man, yes, I agree. Milk Bar, he does it out of bad faith, right? He does it to catch Candace Owens all the time. So, you know, I'm not at all crediting him whatsoever. He definitely does these things to try to get a gotcha moment. And I just explained, again, 2 minutes ago, of him doing it in the wrong way, of her saying Erika was complicit. Because that was the wrong clip, trying to do a gotcha moment. Because she never said that she was involved in his death. Like, he did it or something like that. She did it. Candace Owens never said that. But in this clip right here, play it again. In this clip right here, she literally does say that he's innocent.
Very likely that Tyler Robinson is involved in some way.
Oh, shoot.
Is he the only person involved?
And I've been saying that.
You have been saying that. Yes, you have been saying that. Yeah.
Like, I've never said I think he's completely innocent. I want you to understand that, by the way. These influencers are calling for the murder of an innocent man. Like, I've never said I think he's completely innocent. They have got their guy. It is Tyler Robinson with not a shred of evidence. It's unimaginable to me to call for the execution of an innocent man without literal overwhelming evidence. After the public execution of another innocent man.
Yeah, see, like, that's why I say it's no reason to defend absolutely everything. Okay, she said innocent man. She's allowed to change her mind. But if you want to fill in the gaps for her and be like, innocent of pulling the trigger, but not innocent of this, and like, she didn't say all of that. Okay, so the point of the clip is that she said that he was innocent, and she did. But now she's saying that, you know what I mean? It's okay. That's what I'm saying. It's okay. It's okay. I think she was referring to killing him, maybe, but she didn't say that. Like, that's us, and, like, you know what I mean, trying to fill in that blank and figure out what she meant and all that. But it's no point in doing all that. It's just, you could just say she thought he was innocent at one point in time, and now she doesn't. That's cool. That's fine. That's innocent of the shooting. She didn't say that. That's what I'm saying. Why are we going so hard right now? Why are we going so hard right now, bro? Why are we going so hard? Oh my gosh. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. It's not that deep. I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. I said it's cool. You can change your mind, okay? Because I've heard it. That wasn't the only time she's ever said innocent man. That's not the only time she's ever said that. Innocent of pulling the trigger. Who says that? Who's like, let's be for real. Who says he's innocent of pulling the trigger? Innocent man means he's innocent of pulling the trigger. I'm like, no. You're not innocent, right? You shouldn't be charged with pulling the trigger. You ain't no innocent man, though. You not know what the word innocent is? You're not innocent at all. But you should not be charged with what you charged with. You should be charged with something else. So like that, and that's fine. You know what I mean? That's fine. Oh, maybe she meant innocent until proven guilty. I mean, maybe, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's fine. We don't need to dissect every single clip to figure out and come to her defense. Like, it's okay. It's all about where you are now. You can progress as a human. You can progress, right? Your opinion can change. Your opinion can also progress. So I'm saying that she could have very well thought that he was an innocent man. And now in August, she's saying that he's involved in some way. That's fine. At one point in time, she didn't even worry about the exploding mic theory. This is the part that, okay, since y'all want to get all technical with me, y'all do remember that one time, there was a point in time where she says she knows for a 100%, and we played this on a Yappisode a couple of months ago. She knows for a 100% fact that Charlie was shot from the front. And she said all other theories, don't even worry about it. Put it to bed. She knows for a 100% fact that Charlie was shot from the front. She said that. Now she has moved to another theory. That's fine. That's fine. But y'all can't do this whole, like, no, that's not what she meant. She meant, yeah. I'm like, no, she's a human, okay? She can change her mind. She can change her opinion. It can progress as the months go by. She can learn new information and change her opinion based on that. That's fine. But she said that herself. She literally said out of her mouth. Out of her mouth. She had the cap on, the CIA cap or whatever hat she had on. She said Charlie was shot from the front. I know that for 100% fact. My sources confirmed it. I am 100% positive, and no other theories need to be explored. He was shot from the front. And now she doesn't believe that. And that's cool. That's fine. Just trying to defend her position as someone who expects people to be literal. It's not that deep. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so far, bro. Like I prefer people to mess up. They seem more realistic when people mess up and change their opinion. That's great. That's great. But exploring is okay. But why could you say this and we can't think otherwise? What do you mean? I mean, well, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying this based off of what I heard. And then I think what I'm getting is that y'all are like implying or trying to, give her the benefit of the doubt and put words out there and make it sound better for yourself. That's what it seems like. I'm not really trying to do that. I'm not trying to be like, well, maybe. I'm not trying to do that at all. I'm going to hear what you said and I'm just going to believe you. There's no other reason for me to go in this other way. I'm going to hear what you said. I'm just going to believe you. And then I'm going to hear what you say in August, and I'm going to believe you. And I'm going to say, okay, well, you said this in August. You said this in July. It sounds like something happened for you to change your opinion. That's fine. A lot of things have happened for you to change your opinion. But I'm not going to like things that hasn't happened at all. And I'm just going to start like filling the air and the blanks of what I think happened. I mean, that speculation is dangerous. So I don't want to speculate. I'm just going to hear what you said. I'm going to believe what you said. And as you come out and say otherwise, until then, I'm going to say, well, yeah, you did say he was shot from the front. And I'm going to assume that you just changed your perspective and your opinion months later when now you're talking about another theory. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to assume that you found something to, abandon that first theory of him being shot from the front. Now, has she ever came out and said, I know I said he was shot from the front. I know I said I was 100% sure, but things have changed. And now, no, she's never said that. She just moved on from it. Fine. But again, that's all I'm saying. I'm like, clearly I know I'm watching you change your opinion, and that's cool. Again, the whole point of the whole thing was just saying that, she has switched up on things before. So it's mind blowing when I see people, like when people do say anything. I know it happens to me all the time. If I like criticize or say something, everybody like just goes in, and I'm like, I mean, you do realize she has said different things as well. So that was really it. What are you talking about? You built your channel off the speculation Candace has been making. This is my backup page, okay? I have had social media for years. So when did Charlie Kirk die? Hasn't even been a year. So if you think you know me, you don't know me. Have this since Charlie died, have I been talking about this a lot on this page? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. They give just enough info to keep us speculating in a vacuum, and that's very true. That's very true. These people, that is very true. They like to do that. They definitely leave a lot of room for speculation, and that's why business is what business is, because all of us start going into speculation and start coming up with different things, and then we put our ideas on the internet, and then it just keeps circulating when the whole time they probably know the truth. And this is not about Candace specifically. I'm talking about in general here. Nah, bro, I turned on who? Who did I turn on? Did I turn on the truth? Is that what you're saying? Did I turn on the truth? Because I don't know who I turned on. We could jump on this case just like anyone can and make their channel. I mean, you can definitely do whatever with your page. That's why I'm like, whatever content you like doing, whatever you genuinely love to do it. Do it. I like talking about the case. I'm interested in it. I'm invested in it. I like talking about it. I also have an entire other like platform where I don't talk about the case at all. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, I definitely have done a lot of different things. I'm pretty versatile. And you just gotta follow me on everything, and you can get a good piece of everything. But we hit on everything. Baby Tatum here. I mean, you're gonna have to come up with more things. Like, why do you think I'm getting paid? Who did I turn on? Like that's the great start. Okay. But just saying, like, I turned on who? I turned on Candace. She's my boss. I don't know that woman. So there's no way I turned on somebody that I don't serve. It's 7 a.m. My brain works on 30% capacity. Now I need a coffee. Hey, don't mind. We just yapping right now. And I do appreciate everybody for joining and watching and listening to tonight's Yappisode. Make sure you guys hit the like button. We definitely need that because YouTube be hating on you when you don't get them likes. They just really assume that you don't like the video when you don't like it. So and they don't push it at all. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well if you are new, because we are on the way to 26K on YouTube. And I think 76 on TikTok and 250 on the other TikTok. So we on our way up. We working our way up. But definitely. And make sure you guys turn your notifications on as well, so that way you can be notified the next time we go live. I'm still yapping for a little bit, so I'm not finna get off yet. But yeah, man, I definitely appreciate y'all for listening tonight. 2 hours and 52 minutes. That time, bro. When I take that energy drink, boy, I be losing track of time. This is crazy. Bro, how to check taste. As I have throw up on me every single day, but somehow I'm getting paid $7,000 a month. to an extra $7,000 a month to I don't know, push what? What exactly? Okay. Finally caught you live. What's going on, Ashley? What do you mean? What do you mean think of Costello? What does that mean? What do I think about the debate? The debate was terrible. It was trash. Let's do it. I'm checking. We everywhere. I actually found you because of this case. That's dope. Like, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Like, that's the power of social media. It's just the fact that you can find so many people through like one niche, like one type of thing. And then like somebody said the other day, they was like, bro, I didn't even know this was like the backup page on TikTok. It was like, I had no idea this was a backup page. I was like, yeah, bro, like I've there's an entire main page that I don't even talk about Charlie Kirk. I just talk about other stuff. And then over here, I talk about Charlie Kirk more, just because like it's just two separate things. I like talking about certain things on, you know what I mean? It's two different lanes. These people are a joke. I don't care about Charlie TPUSA, but they look bad, and to follow them, you are a joke. What you mean? What you mean by that? I was hoping for more from the debate. Yeah, I mean, I was too. But well, I was hoping for more, but I also expected it to go that way. Like, I was expecting the worst, but I was hoping for the best. And that's exactly what happened. You know, everything that happened, I 100% was like, I mean, I literally made a million TikToks about it. I was like, this is not gonna go well, because I know Andrew Wilson's debate style, and I don't understand how that just doesn't go with what Candace is going on right now. Like, it doesn't flow. What's your other channel about? It's random. Like, that's the part where like Yapper comes in, because I just yap about whatever. That is how all of this started many years ago. Is just people used to have niche, like go into like niche type content, and yeah, many years ago I was like, bro, I don't want a niche. I just like to talk about absolutely anything. And one day it might be politics. Next day it might be sports. One day it might be something stupid. And started just yapping about anything. And it started from there. So like it's literally anything. There is no specific topic whatsoever. But now the backup page is more so like right now focused on the Charlie Kirk investigation and stuff like that. I might throw a random thought in there randomly on the backup page, but yeah. Do I go live on the main account? I don't go live on the main account. The main account has been kind of weird ever since they sold the TikTok app to America / Izzy. They have been I don't know, doing some crazy stuff over there. Then also on the main account, like it, that was my very first account. So there are like a lot of people, that, I guess know me in real life, because you know how like your phone number be like connected to stuff. And so, yeah, it's like a lot of people on that account like know me. So like it be feeling weird being on live sometimes. I'm like, bro, like, can you stop watching my live, bro? Like, this is weird. This is weird. Talking about anything right now, we just yapping. Gab, what's up? Oh, Kyle, an apology. I said the plane was on Barron's video, but it was Mr. Let Go. People are like, what is he saying? He needs a coffee. The moment I started hearing on X that they're trying to catch her in a defamation case, yeah, I mean, they've been trying for a long time. That's why I definitely was like, I don't know why this Andrew Wilson debate thing is happening. We already know, like, we saw that coming from a mile away. So this is Yapper 2.0. It is. Yeah, it is. Look at you, 98 people there. Yeah, I mean, hey, we came a long way. Long way. It's been back in the day. Call it back in the day, but it really was only like August. Oh, it's been a while now. Since February. So about 5-6 months. It's been a minute. But back in the day, we used to be live in my son's bedroom with the dinosaur bed behind me. And it wasn't nothing like no crazy story, right? Like, I'm not at all saying like, man, the mattress was on the floor, like nothing like that. My son was just sleeping upstairs in our room, and the only office space we had was right outside of our room, which was just way too close for me to be yapping and yelling and lights on and stuff. So the only place I could go to yap was in his room, which was downstairs. But yeah, I used to have lives just like this, but be in my son's room. It was crazy. So yeah, we didn't came up. Those are the days when it was only like 5 people listening on YouTube. Oh, I have these 2 thoughts. Barron and Candace are amazing truth tellers, but also possibly liars. Interesting. What makes you come to those 2 thoughts? Why do you feel that way? My algorithm is F. DD's live today was great. He had a finance person on, and I learned a lot because they broke it down. Yeah, that guy that he has on, I think his name is Brian. He's good all the time. Every time they collab is good. Every time. DD and Jay need to collab. I know. I tried. Well, I mean, it's not over, but like we hit each other up. We've been in contact. It's just a challenge to land on something, because I might miss a DM, then he might miss a DM for days. So like I was the last one to DM this time, and it's been like a week and a half, 2 weeks since a reply. So one day we're gonna be able to find each other and land on something at the same time. It was all about CO. What was all about CO? Back up in the but I have I have great respect for their talents. Yeah, I mean, I've said that as well. I've said as well that Candace and Barron, I respect what they do, and they're great at what they do. Yeah, I've said that too, and I've also said before as well that once Baron got in cahoots with Candace, something definitely changed. I think anybody. I mean, I'm not trying to tell anybody to agree with me, but I feel like a lot of people would agree with that. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think that Baron before meeting Candace, Baron before getting in cahoots with Candace versus Baron afterwards was it was a different gear. I definitely, yeah, we growing. We had an after party the other night with the members. We had an after party on Tuesday with the members live. So that was fun. Definitely we're gonna do it again. I'm trying to aim for like 2 to 3 times a week having an after party with the members. What's today? Friday. Might be able to do another one this weekend. Might be tomorrow. Maybe we should spam Didi's comments. Jay wants to yap with you. Yeah, I hate that. I saw Didi's video responding to how he felt about his Warren interview, and yeah, I mean that was tough. He definitely entered that conversation in good faith and looking to have a great conversation with Warren, and it did not go well. And I don't blame him. That sucked. Especially because I think he thought highly of Warren too, so it was such a letdown. Me too. I tried giving to Baze, Jay. I thought Candace I trust. Baron as long as he says the right things. Catholics unleash their dogs. Baron and Candace force them to play a little, remind them. Do you have an opinion about whether it was a mic or an actual gunshot? Man, that's actually very... So I'm going to answer that. I wonder if live music from my studio channel will work. So I've had many thoughts about that. So I think that originally I was definitely like I'm not 100% sold on any theory, but I was about 75 to 80% leaning towards the microphone. I was, and for a while, and it's gonna sound very, 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 very crazy. I know. Okay, I know, but hear me out. I was about 75 to 80% sure that it was a microphone, or leaning towards it. And but when Candace came back from vacation, and then she was like all in on the microphone. I don't know if anybody remembers that episode. And this is no shot or jab. I definitely was like, my mind immediately just went to something else. She came back from her vacation, and that episode, she was like all in on the exploding microphone and just agreeing with it all. And she even said it. She was like, I think that's what happened. I think that's what happened. I think that's who did it. I mean, I think that's what did it, and all of that. And in my mind, I literally, that day, I remember I was like, I don't know anymore. I'm I always go against the grain a little bit. I'm a little stubborn. So I was like, now I feel like something else happened. Cause what? Like all these things have been shown for months, since like September, October of the exploding microphone and all the things that happened. So I'm like, all these things been happened. So like, you just came back from vacation and you just believe it now? Like what? What just happened? And it was never really like an explanation. She was like, oh, I don't, I'm not an expert in that. I'm like, I'm not either. But when I listened to the experts, I was like, hey, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm not really like buying the whole, it took 7 months, 8 months to listen to the experts. And now so I think once Candace came out and said she was all in on it, and then she was like, that's what did it, blah, blah. I was like, I now feel like something else happened. Just because my mind is my mind, and I'm a stubborn person. So I think that from the very, like, before the exploded mic theory really started trending, I thought that it was a drone that hit him from, originally I said hit him from behind, like here, and then it was an exit wound here. That was originally what I said, like when all of this stuff first went down. But I saw the camera angle that Candace showed of the back of the head, that you couldn't really see anything happen from back there. So I don't know, but I'm leaning towards like just a smaller caliber, right? That's leaning for me. This could switch. Okay, so please don't tie me to any theory. But at the moment, I'm leaning towards a smaller caliber round that was fired from somewhere. Drone in the air would probably make the most sense versus something on the ground, someone on the ground. But yeah, I'm going that's where I'm leaning towards right now. That has more of my attention than the exploded mic right now. Um 1202, thank you for supporting the channel. Russia legalized Bitcoin for trade at the international level just a couple of weeks ago. That's one topic the debate diverted attention away from. That's very interesting. Yeah. That is very interesting. And I agree, when the debate first was going down, that was one thing that I too was like, I want to pay attention to what's going on in the world, because I just think that all of this is a distraction, but a distraction from what? So there's a very interesting thing that went down. That is interesting. Queen, thank you for supporting the channel. I enjoy your talks in CK's case. I'm so grateful to Minnie for talking. I'm so grateful to Minnie for talking about it and not turning an eye. My birthday is 9/10. Oh man, I'm sorry that your birthday had to go like that last year, but I'm also excited that your birthday is coming up. So happy early birthday. After I saw what the juice did to him, my heart felt to my stomach and had to cancel my dinner plans. Yeah, I bet that was a very tough day, and I could only imagine what that felt like for you. I hope that your birthday this year is not in that way. I hope it is high energy and everything that you want. And so happy early birthday. Definitely spend it well. Maybe turn off your phones and stuff just to enjoy it and not be reminded of your last. But happy early birthday, Queen. Thank you for supporting the channel. I am just so cautious on who to believe. Jesse says CK might be alive. Come on. They all are playing. Oh man, do you fathom him being alive? Yeah, so we talked about that before too. I think that so let me explain. Number one, I do think he is not here anymore. I do think that. I want to start there. I think that I can't see a world where he would want Erika to be in this negative light right now. I can't see a world of her just always being criticized every single day, public enemy number one, while he's like behind closed doors, like, oh, I love this. Like, I can't see that. I also can't see, all of these things, like his kids. I don't know. I think the biggest thing is Erika. I don't know if I could see like the deal with him being alive is that Erika is now public enemy number one. But that's her knowing about him being alive. I mean, that's a whole other thing. But here's what I will say. The things that do align with being like, well, it does make sense. Not that I agree with the whole him being alive thing, but if you want to entertain it and all of that. So what I will say with that supports that theory is that if you think about everybody's reaction that day and after that and what's been going on right now, those people are only acting weird because he's dead. He's dead, so that's why we're all like, why are y'all acting like that? That's so weird. That's so strange, blah, blah, blah. But if he were to be alive, then it would make complete sense because it's like, oh, that's why everybody's joking and laughing and kikiing and nobody's serious. Nobody's like, hey, stop looking into this. Da, 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 da. That would make sense of him being alive. So it's one of those things where it's like all of these people are so weird and the reactions and behavior is so weird, but it's only because he's dead. And we've never seen people act like this before. So it's like, that's the part where I'm like, hey, yeah, it is pretty normal if he is alive, but I just can't see it. I can't see him being alive just because of all the things that's come with him being gone. I couldn't imagine. And him letting Erika take all of this heat and people digging into their lives. And I don't know. I disagree with your views on the Lindsay Clancy case. What about it? What's my view? What's my view of the Lindsay Clancy case? Yeah, you might have to tell me what my view is because I don't think I've ever. I don't know. I guess I'll be looking forward to your next comment. I also think that Tyler Robinson wasn't acting alone. No, he was not. No, he was not at all. It's Charlie's day and the day after 9/11. Yeah, that's a tough combo. That's a tough combo. That is a tough combo to have your birthday around that. But that's why I say you gotta try your best to live it up around those devastating days. What do you think about all the black shards that are in the car? That's very interesting. It does appear to look like a shattered, microphone. It does. It does indeed. Can I be in your brain too? What do you? My God, that's funny. I cannot fathom him hiding. Cannot fathom him being alive, just like I can't not fathom handling hundreds of millions. Yeah, I mean, that's a large conspiracy. It makes you really think. But that's the only thing I can really support that claim is if he is alive, then everybody's reactions and emotions and behavior would be normal. So that's what makes you be like, well, do you guys now believe that Tyler did it? I don't believe Tyler did pull the trigger, but I feel like we've always been saying that though. The Lindsay Clancy case, and I mean, that's one of those ones that I don't think anybody's gonna be happy about. No matter what you say, somebody's not gonna like it. But I think that the woman is clearly guilty. She did it. For what I've saw. She's not denying doing it, but I think she's pleading insanity or something like that. Now I don't like all the people that are. I think I saw like a whole parade outside of the courtroom of all the women in pink supporting her and stuff like that. I think that's crazy. I think the lady is not denying that she did it. I mean, you just imagine, like, and which you can use your imagination on what that must have been like for those kids and how crazy those moments were of her doing that. That's just insane. Now I will say though, hearing all the details around the case of her pleading insanity is interesting. Like hearing all of the this person knew that she was suffering from this, but didn't help, and the husband knew she was suffering from this but didn't help. And I'm like, yeah, I mean that's very interesting. All of those details are very interesting. It doesn't change the fact that she did what she did. Her therapist or whoever was like, bro, that she was not under some type of psychosis or nothing like that. So like that doesn't help her case at all for people to be like, no, she was not crazy. She knew exactly what she was doing. So again, that doesn't dismiss the fact that she did that. That's absolutely insane. But hearing all the things around the case of her pleading insanity and blaming all of these people for not helping her is all interesting things for sure. Definitely interesting things. I think I think that doctor or that therapist or whatever it was, I think that's hurting her case when it comes to like she wasn't crazy, because that she literally was like, no, she was not crazy. But I think outside of her, it seems like she might be winning that insanity plea. I don't know. But due to like all the questions they're asking to the mother-in-law and Patrick and stuff, it seems like she might be winning that insanity plea, because it seems like a lot of these people knew that she was crazy, but or at least was on like heavy pills, heavy stuff, and nothing ever happened, and all of that stuff. So she might win that. She might win that. The issue of the matter is, was she sane or not? Yeah, I think she definitely knew what she was doing. That's my, the doctor that even said that said she knew exactly what she was doing. She has no idea what happened to her or the kids. She was told she did it. I mean, yeah, that's why I said it ain't gonna be no middle ground. I don't. That's gonna be one of her strongest supporting claims of her pleading for insanity. Like she has to say that. So I'm not saying that she's lying. I'm just saying I'm not surprised that she's saying that. Can you use your imagination of a man manipulating you to think you're crazy and see you pills? However, her family failed her. That's what I agree. Like I said, when I was listening to all the people on the stand and all the things that they were asking the family, I was like, I think a lot of people knew that she was struggling, and it doesn't seem like she was it doesn't seem like anybody was really trying to help. I think that is true, but that still doesn't take away what she did. But I think that's why she might win that insanity thing. The husband did it and framed her, moving on with his lady he was cheating with. Yeah, I can't really comment too much on that. I didn't really pay attention to the cross-examine with the husband to know all the details of the husband's part. I think the only thing I heard from the husband was that something about him being sent to the store and he came back or something like that. And I also heard something about like he dropped her off at the mental health facility and then he like went skiing with their daughter or something. That's all I already know, but I can't really speak to any of the other stuff. She was definitely failed. Yeah, that's what I said. Like, she might win the insanity thing because it seems like everybody did know that she was struggling, and so yeah. There's a lot of things going on right now. You got the Tupac case going on right now. You got the Lindsay Clancy case. Bro, did y'all see the Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf new details that came out? Bro, look at this. Look at this.
Anthony's retrial hearing continues today as the judge is considering a trove of evidence that the jury never saw, including disturbing text messages that were sent by Anthony. Todd Pyro joins us now with the latest. Todd?
Ainsley, good morning. The fate of Carmelo Anthony's retrial attempt remains undecided as his hearing for a new trial continues this morning. Prosecutors revealing disturbing new texts showing Anthony threatening to murder his girlfriend around the time Austin Metcalf was stabbed in the heart at a high school track meet. One text from Anthony reads, quote, "How many bullets you want coming out of your chest?" Anthony sending another saying, quote, "When I stab somebody, I'm gonna lick their blood off the blade." And this text sent 2 hours before Metcalf was murdered, reading, quote, "I'm low-key on the verge." After receiving these threatening texts, Anthony's ex-girlfriend allegedly told an assistant principal he was stalking her. Prosecutors adding Anthony had a history of getting into fights and an obsession with knives and guns. This information just now being revealed to the jury, or just now being revealed, I should say, was kept under wraps by both sides as a gentleman's agreement, promising to not use the text as evidence ahead of Anthony's original murder trial. The defense had agreed.
Yeah, that boy ain't getting out, man. He ain't getting out. Oh my gosh. I mean, like, look at the text, bro. Where it go? How many bullets? Like, I can't even repeat that. What? He told this to his ex-girlfriend. Or his girlfriend that they broke up earlier that day or something, that morning or whatever. What? And then he said, when I do that to somebody, I'm gonna lick that off the blade. He said that morning. And then he went and did something that day. He ain't getting out. That's crazy. And you know, I said that it might have been TikTok, but that was something that we were talking about before on TikTok. I'm like, bro, if he really didn't do it, then I feel like he would have got up on that stand, or not didn't do it because he did it. But if he really felt bad, remorseful, or tried to show that side to him, then he would have got up on the stand and tried to defend himself. Put on a little boy act of like, man, I really did not want this to happen. But I was like, dog, he ain't on the stand for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, he clearly, somebody told him not to get on the stand. And because they probably would have cross-examined him and found out some crazy stuff in the past. And look at this. The man, well, both sides agreed to not bring this up, but these are very important. For why they didn't bring this up, I'm not sure. Maybe for the narrative. But if these were released beforehand, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? There would have never even been a trial. The man said, when I do this to somebody, I'm going to lick their stuff off the blade. And then he went and did it. He ain't licking all that, but like he went and did that. It was not going to be a trial at all. So why would both sides agree to this to this, you know, deal of like not revealing these messages, like a gentleman's agreement or something they called it? I don't know. It's weird. You know, I'm not in that field to understand why that would happen. Yeah, gentleman's agreement. Why was he at a track meet? Yeah, like it's mind you, they go to different schools. It's crazy. It is crazy. I agree. If he would have took the stand, I think that gentleman's agreement would have went out the door. Because I think that's why he didn't take the stand. Like I figured, I was like, bro, if he took the stand, he would get ate up. He would get ate up because there's something. There's a reason why he ain't going up there defending himself. As a little kid at the time or whatever, not a little kid, but as a kid, bro, you can get up there on the stand and just feel sorry for everything that went down, cry a little bit. You know, you probably gonna get locked up, but you know, at the end of the day, they can say, "Hey, man, you know, this was just a kids being stupid, man, and somebody lost their life, yes, but you know, 10 years, 5 to 10 years with time served, or something like that." You know what I mean? That man did not take the stand, and they stood 10 toes on the whole self-defense thing. I think 35 years was generous. I think 35 years and he only got to serve half of it. I think that is generous considering this man was walking around talking about when I do stab somebody. How many bullets you want in what? That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, even the Nolan Wells case too. The Nolan Wells case is interesting as well. Because it's one of them things, man. It's like I saw text messages came out between Warren and the mom. Nolan was his mom, and Warren was like cooperating and talking with her the whole time while looking for Nolan. And she let this narrative get out that they did something to Nolan. And they was hiding his phone and all this other stuff that they started to spread around. And she literally has text messages. The text messages were exposed of her literally talking to Warren every day. And he's like, "I'm so sorry, Miss Christine. We're doing all we can. My family's out on the water right now looking for him. Let me know if you need anything. The police already have a report of these details right here, but you know, we're praying for you, blah, blah." And then days later, her attorney come in and he's like, "These white boys, Nolan was on a boat with these white boys. And we all know what the history of Mississippi, what has occurred down here. And Nolan was the only black boy on that boat with those white boys. So, and the white boys returned home safe. And so something must have happened." I'm like, what? How did we get here? How did we get there? That's a crazy jump. And the mom let it happen. The mom let it happen. The mom could have easily came out and was like, "No, man, these boys are great kids. They were Nolan's friends. They were great kids. Please, like, don't talk about them like that. They cool. They talk to me. They've been cooperating. They've been great people. Nolan would not want his friends to be trashed like this. No, she didn't do that. She didn't. She ate it up and let it all happen. And let them folks get out there and talk about, yeah, Nolan was out there with all them white people. All them white people. What y'all think white people do? What? That's crazy. Them white boys had Nolan's phone. They had his phone. They was deleting text messages. Bruh got up there and didn't even know how to read an autopsy. He was talking about, and the autopsy says his neck was missing. What's going on? His neck, bro, his neck was missing because they already had an autopsy. But you did a GoFundMe and you raised $800,000 for what? I don't know. And then you got a second autopsy when the first autopsy wasn't even completed yet. So yes, you got his body super quick when they just try to perform the first one. So yes, you have nothing. You have nothing because they're still conducting the first one. And Buddy got up there, literally was like, and his neck was missing. And everybody was like, ah! They was just waiting for the look, it was them white boys. What are we gonna do? Like, what are we talking about, bro? And the mom condoned that behavior, bro. And he literally, look, y'all don't believe me? Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. So they're on a tour right now, right? The mom is on a tour. Mom and the dad are on a tour, going around the whole freaking country. And they stopped at Jamal Bryant's church. Jamal Bryant is one of them pastors that does not push unity. He pushes straight division, and he wants black people to stay over here and white people to stay over there. They just push for segregation pretty much. And listen to what Jamal Bryant has to say. And Nolan's mom and dad are in the front row. So whoever you are, who you are around, okay? And they affiliated themselves with Ben Crump, Al Sharpton, who are two people that also push division and race and all of that, race baiting and race wars and civil wars. They push all of that. And that's who they wanted to be around. But now they affiliate themselves with Jamal Bryant as well. And listen to this freaking sermon.
And the Lord said to Canaan, where is Abel, your brother? That's not a rhetorical question. It is the oldest civil rights question. It is the question this family has.
It's not my computer doing this freezing thing. This is the stream or whatever that's lagging.
Been asking of Jackson County. It's the same question we've been asking the Department of Justice. It's the same question we've been asking all of the judges. And the same question we're asking the young men who suddenly have amnesia.
Again, Nolan's friends. Nolan's friends. They're still, mind you, Christine and the dad, Nolan's mom and dad, well, stepdad, is in the front row right now. And I know you can't control what the pastor says, but again, condoning this behavior.
And I wanted you to notice what Cain's response is, because it's the same response we've been hearing since July 5th. Am I my brother's keeper? It's the response of every system that has been slow to investigate a black child's death. I bet you $1,000,000 if it was 5 black boys and 1 white boy on the boat. By now, there would have been an arrest, there would have been a warrant, there would have been a seizure. But because America doesn't believe that Black Lives Matter, they trying to act offended because we want to ask the question, what happened to our brother? And when we ask the question, what happened? The response is we're still gathering information. We're waiting on toxicology, waiting on the grand jury.
Is that not investigating it though? Oh my gosh, man.
Brother's keeper? That's the question underneath every delayed subpoena, every sealed file. Understand what God is saying here, that before there was DNA testing.
And this is so sad, because this is just as bad as Erika for the people that can't really put 2 and 2 together and all that stuff. Like Erika does the same thing where they push certain agendas through scripture and all of that stuff. He's doing the same thing right here. Like you can't be preaching God, but then all of a sudden, you can't be preaching God and then now you are also seeing everything through a racial lens. Because if you're supposed to have like Christ in you and believe in God and all this other stuff and believe in the Bible, then you don't look through a racial lens. Everybody is your brother and sister, everybody. But here he is in the pulpit talking about, yeah, and if there was 4 black boys, if there was 5 black boys and 1 white boy and something happened and we would have said, like, what are you talking about right now, bro? Why couldn't something I don't want to say why couldn't something happen, because I don't want it to be this way. But hypothetically speaking, what if an argument happened, right? Let's just say foul play was at hand. And what if an argument happened and a fight happened and somebody shot somebody or somebody beat up somebody and somebody ended up losing their life? That's still not racially motivated. Like, that's what I'm like. Do y'all realize how far off the deep end you jumped? You know how many things could happen that's just not racially motivated? I can get in a fight with a white person. I could hurt the white person. That doesn't mean I did it because he was white. That's why I'm like, when they jump straight to the race thing, I'm like, what? So y'all think Nolan's no longer here anymore because he's black? Versus something could have happened. He could have got into an argument. He could have got into a fight. He could have got into all of these different things. And we're just trying to investigate what happened. No. They said, no, he's no longer here anymore because he's black. Because somebody didn't like the color of his skin, he had to go. That's why I'm like, all right, dog, you losing me.
Before there was a coroner, before there was a single forensic tool, the ground had to testify. The dirt would not stay silent about what happened. And I want them to know, if the dirt wouldn't be quiet, what makes you think the waters don't be quiet? Because black people know something about coming through the water. We came through the Middle Passage and we came through the Atlantic Ocean and we understood.
He's referencing slavery right now. If you didn't know, he's referencing slavery right now by saying black people are familiar with coming through the water. And he's going in through like the Atlantic slave trade or all of that. That's what he's referencing right now.
Good Middle Passage, and we came through the Atlantic Ocean, and we understood down by the riverside, God is still able to do something in the water. Don't shout if you ain't been to the pool, but if you've been baptized and you know that the water still speaks, then you got a right to give God glory that the water will not be silent.
And there is Nolan's mom, Nolan's stepdad. And so, like I said, you are who you are around. And the fact that they in the church allowing all of this shenanigans to go down is their fault. I don't care. And I hope, well, I don't want to say I hope. I wouldn't be surprised if those boys that they are accusing everywhere they go, I wouldn't be surprised if those boys come out and I've already heard about it. They're already in the works of suing these people for defamation, because that's all they've been doing. And they haven't not once came out to correct the record and say, you know, we were wrong about those boys. Leave it alone. No. They're still pushing it, or they'll pivot to something else, but they don't ever just come out and say, yo, we were wrong. Completely wrong. Like, we're so sorry. No. They just let it go. And, oh, we're just asking questions. We deserve to know. You deserve to know without accusing people of freaking doing something when they're coming out cooperating. I know somebody's gonna try to hit me with a Uno reverse and say you're accusing Erika of something. And again, nobody's ever accused Erika of killing Charlie. But when you are accused, and there's allegations and accusations out there of you being suspicious, you address it. That's what these boys have done. They've came out a million times and said, yo, we literally had nothing to do with this. We weren't even there. We left the island because our boat was sinking. Christine, Nolan's mom, me and you were texting all night long. I was the one who called you saying Nolan was missing. And you got on there and said you didn't even know us. Nolan wasn't even cool with us. Like, that's crazy work. That's so crazy.
Don't tell this family that Iberia Island in the Gulf of Mexico has no memory. Don't tell Christine Wells Wansley that Horn Island isn't talking. If dust and dirt could testify against Cain in Genesis 4, then
I can't listen to this whole thing. I can't. But y'all see what it is. Like, it's just the world we live in. The world we live in. Yeah, the pastor is absolutely wrong. Jamal Bryant already has a bad history of being a pastor. It's terrible track record. Terrible track record. But when I saw him preaching and Nolan Wells' mom and them there, I'm like, oh, here we go. It's not a good look. Not a good look. But man, I appreciate y'all so much for listening to this Yappisode 57. We on our way up. Again, make sure you guys hit the like button on your way in, on your way out, and replay crew. I appreciate y'all always, replay crew, for tuning in tomorrow. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button as well. If you are new to the channel, we are on the road to 26K. Make sure you guys turn your notifications on. That way you can be notified the next time we go live. Because we will. One of these days this weekend, we will. So make sure you turn the notifications on so that way you can be notified next time we go live. And again, we have a debate / open discussion / open conversation, because a lot of people will probably refer to it as a debate, but I don't want to call it that. It is locked in for next Thursday against with Joshua Carr, Josh Carr. It is next Thursday. Haven't confirmed a time yet. I'll keep y'all in the loop. So please, I'm excited for that, because this is another person that's going to be able to come on the channel and defend his position of overwhelming evidence. And we shall see how it goes. That will be next Thursday. It'll be great, because y'all know me. I'll always have the questions and hopefully represent the side of truth in the right way. So stay tuned for that. But outside of that, I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. I hope y'all enjoy y'all's weekend, y'all Saturday. And I love y'all, and I will see y'all on the next one.